Hello everybody, welcome to Champman FPL Game Week 10 live Slancher. Beer Nuts delivery is in, got the sirens. I'm fucking back to front, I can never work that out. 5.6% apparently, let's see what this tastes like. Oh, I'm going to be in a state by 5 o'clock, aren't I? Hope everybody's well on this Saturday afternoon. As usual, shout out to Andy, FPL Tactician, Dave, Simple Goal, James Alapran. Thank you very much for everything you're doing with the game. To Dave and James, great appearance with Andy. Let's Talk FPL on the Scout in the week. Really enjoyed that, and thanks for some of the nice things you said about this stream as well. Much appreciated. Also, shout out to our man, FPL Captain. Give the guy a follow. He's our man on the graphics. What I'm going to do now is obviously go through the early kickoff, all the team news. We'll get into the 3 o'clocks. Obviously, while we're up and running, you can see to your bottom right your fixtures, your ownership, your captaincy numbers, most transferred in, most transferred out, exclusives. You'll see that popping around bottom right-hand corner here. Okay, so first thing, well done to anybody who's had the cojones to hold on to Thierry Henry for quite a while. And secondly, even more well done to quite a few I'd seen who've bought him and captained him today. Really well done. Arsenal 3-0 winners against Leeds in the early kickoff. It's a blow for me in my Wolfpack Worthington Cup encounter with Dear Flapjack, because he's got double Arsenal defensive, so I think I'm in trouble there in that competition. So Henry scoring twice, picking up the top bonus. It was also a 2-point bonus for Francis Jeffers and a 1-point bonus for Ashley Cole in that 3-0 win for Arsenal. Henry did top rate with a 10 out of 10 as man of the match. Jeffers got a 9 out of 10. Ashley Cole an 8 out of 10. The only other players on more than 7 out of 10. And notable for Leeds, Dominic Matteo played in place of the injured Ian Hart, picked up a 5 out of 10 rating. There were 3 yellow cards for Leeds for Rio Ferdinand, Robbie Keane and substitute Lee Bowyer. Lee Bowyer had replaced Eric Bakker, not back for good, on 62 minutes. And Robbie Keane was replaced on 67 minutes by Alan Smith. There were 1-pointers for Arsenal for Robert Pires and Dimitri Albertini, both replaced on 56 by Lauren and Giovanni Van Bronckhorst, respectively. Oleg Luzny was then replaced on 62 by Matthew Upson, so did lock in the clean sheet for his 0.0 owners out there. Just something I picked up, a couple of things with the commentary. One was I left Harry Kewell on the bench this week, and it looks like I've got away with it because it looked like he had Leeds' best efforts in the game. One of the things I picked up on was that Robbie Keane started right up front with Viduka. The only other time, to my knowledge, they've done that is when they hosted Manchester United. So I don't know if there's a theme there against the top opponents that, quite strangely, that Keane is going from a 10 position to right up top with Viduka. So let's move on to all your team news for the 3 o'clocks. I don't think there's anything overly scary from what I noted. We'll start at Villa Park, where Villa host the title favourites and champions Manchester United. We knew that Alan Wright was very unlikely to take part. He was at 27% fitness going into the weekend. And this fixture is one of only 3 in the simulation physically taking place on the Saturday. Villa, Manchester United, Middlesbrough, Tottenham, and West Ham, Blackburn, the others. There were 6 fixtures taking place in this simulation on the Sunday, and the Leicester and Derby encounter was the Monday night fixture. Obviously, for the benefit of the game, we're doing all this on a Saturday. So Villa stay with the defensive swirl, the 5-3-1-1 formation that was successful for them in their 1-0 victory at Fulham last week. There were only 2 changes. Right as we anticipated, missing out at the left back position. That means that Steve Staunton goes into that flat back 5 on the left hand side, given full licence to push on up the field. May please his 4.0 owners, but I don't know how many of them will have started with him today. The other change So it's Hitzelberger comes into the midfield, and the other change sees David Ginola playing the 10 position ahead of Paul Merson. So Villa are Schmeichel in goal, from right to left back, 5 flat of Carr, Melberg, Alpine, Barry, Staunton at left back with licence to push on. Ian Taylor again, right midfield, along with Boateng and Hitzelberger central, all three of them tasked with offering defensive cover in and around the number 10 position, which is positions that we can expect Juan Sebastian Veron to be picking up today, who obviously starts again for Manchester United. Ginola in the 10 position in support of Juan Pablo Angel. On the bench for Villa, Boaz Myhill, Bosco Balaban, who was only at 90% fitness, Mark Delaney, Mustafa Hadji and Dion Dublin. For Manchester United, there is just the one change. No Phil Neville in the Manchester United lineup means Gary Neville reverts to playing at right back, and it means that Wes Brown comes into the team at centre half. Means again, obviously, no place for Paul Scholes. So United are Barters in goal, Neville, Blanc, Brown, Silvestre at the back four, Beckham, Keane, Veron, Giggs in midfield. Veron allowed to push on as per usual. York and Van Nistelrooy up front. Obviously United had played in the Champions League in a week, winning 1-0, and their place in at least the Europa League is confirmed. They will almost certainly obviously qualify from that group. I think they've won all of their games. So all but certain to qualify to what in this simulation 2001 is the second group stage. Moving on to Stamford Bridge, Chelsea also played in midweek in the UEFA Cup, picked up a credible 0-0 draw in Porto ahead of the second leg of their UEFA Cup encounter. We knew that John Terry was due a 1 game week ban this game week following his red card at Goodison Park, and Mario Melchiot was very unlikely to play due to fitness concerns. There are 4 changes in all for Chelsea. Obviously, Terry and Melchiot miss out, so too Dalabona, Mikel Forsell, Babiaro, Stanic, Zola, Gudjonsson all come into a Chelsea side that makes it look stronger offensively, but perhaps a little bit weaker defensively. They are Kudacini in goal, Ferrer, Gallas, Babiaro, the 3 centre halves, Gronkiar and Stanic in the wing-back positions, Lampard, Petit, central midfield, Zola in the 10 position, Gudjonsson, Hasselbank up front. Just take a step back, sorry to clarify the Manchester United substitutes for you today. Roy Carroll, Andy Cole, Solskjaer, Nicky Butt and Paul Scholes. Chelsea host Liverpool today, and our good friend Harry Goodnison, who scored against Middlesbrough last week, does not even make the 16. There is a surprise inclusion for Patrick Berger, who plays OOP for Liverpool with Danny Murphy. Liverpool also had an important Champions League result in the week, beating Feyenoord 1-0. Their status is very much unconfirmed, could basically still finish 2nd, 3rd or 4th in that group. We know they have injuries up front. Robbie Fowler is likely to be back for game week 11. Emil Heskey is likely to be back for game week 12. Liverpool are a key team to keep an eye on as we head towards blank double seasons in the run up to Christmas. Liverpool could technically possibly even end up with back-to-back doubles. I think that's an unlikely scenario, but they are one you really need to keep an eye on from a fixture perspective. Liverpool also leave out Vegard Hegem today, and Stefan Hencho is back in the Liverpool lineup alongside Sami Hyypiä at centre-half. So Liverpool are Dudek, Carragher at right-back, Risa at left-back. Last week was Carragher at left-back, Risa at centre-half. That looks a little bit better, as obviously does the partnership of Hencho and Hyypiä. It's Haman and Gerrard centrally, Nicky Barmby left midfield, Igor Biscan right midfield, and 2 OOPs up front, Patrick Berger and Danny Murphy. You'd think they'd play him as false 9s, wouldn't you? It would confuse the back 3. They are on the bench, Kirkland, Partridge, Vignal, Hegem and Jamie Redknapp. Everton make 3 changes. They host Fulham at Goodison Park. No place for David Unsworth, Nicholas Alexanderson or Max Moore up front. Into the side come Gemmell, Paul Gascoigne and Thomas Radzinski for, I believe, his first appearance of the season. Simonson retains his place in goal. They are back to a more common system when they play home games of 3-5-2. It's Weir, Xavier and Stubbs at centre-half. Xavier allowed to step out. Naismith and Watson, the wing-backs, allowed to push on. Gascoigne, Gemmell and Gravison make up the midfield 3. Radzinski and Duncan Ferguson start as split forwards. Unsworth does take his place on the bench alongside Alexanderson, Kevin Campbell, Peter Clark and substitute goalkeeper Paul Gerrard. There is just the one change for Fulham, which is Sean Davis coming in for Lee Clark. Stolzers, who was only at 90% fitness, does play. Obviously, he would have been 90% at the time that the game was being simulated, ready to start. But obviously, there was an extra day's rest, so I don't think there was ever a particular concern there. But Steve Malbranck at 88% is not back in that Fulham 16. Just a couple of things to note on Fulham as well. Zat Knight has an injury, likely to be out till game week 13. Not a regular starter, but certainly makes Wadu and Goma a little bit more secure in the immediate. Obviously, Sylvan Legwinski is banned, doesn't return till game week 12, will still miss game week 11. Steve Marley does start again for Fulham up front with Lewis Boamorte. His 3 game week ban starts in game week 11. Fulham are the usual at the back. Van der Sar in goal, Corrigan, Goma, Wadu and Harley, the 2 fullbacks allowed to push on there. Goldbeck, Davis, Collins, Stoiss as the midfield for Marley and Boamorte up front. Luis Sahar is again only a substitute for Fulham, alongside Andy Melville, who's back from injury, 4.0 rated defender. Barry Howells, Callum Willock and Mike Taylor in the Fulham goal. Ipswich host Bolton Wanderers today, and for those who have had Maurizio Tirico hanging about in their squads, there is good news. He's an early returner from injury and goes straight back into that Ipswich lineup. He was rated at 86% fitness, but I think some shrewdies had obviously noticed that the Ipswich fixture wasn't due to be simmed till the Monday night in game, giving Tirico an extra 48 hours to get that fitness up. So actually not a great surprise that he's back in that Ipswich lineup. He is one of only 2 changes. Matt Holland is out injured to around about game week 12, so he misses out. Marcus Stewart also misses out. Pablo is in for him up front. Ipswich, who had a great UEFA Cup first leg win in Moscow against Torpedo in midweek, line up 3-5-2. Sereni, back 3 of Bramble, Gardso, Haridason, Gardso, the one allowed to step out. Clapham and Tirico, the wing backs. Miller, Kumas and Jermaine Wright, the central midfield. Fraser Wright back into central midfield. Imagine he will stay there while Matt Holland is out injured. Holland not due to return until game week 12. Pablo and Finidi George play as the split forwards. On the bench for them, Andy Marshall, Mark Stewart, Martin Reusser, Chris Makin and Alan Armstrong. Their opponents, Bolton, are without Kevin Nolan, who's out injured till game week 12. They line up 3-5-2. The only replacement for Nolan is Diawara in central midfield. So it's Jaskalainen, same back 3 of Cooper and Gotti and Colin Hendry. A note on them that Goodney Bergson is due back fit around about game week 12, but I imagine Paul Warhurst would be closer to a start than Ngotti. Warhurst on the bench again for Bolton. Southall and Madison, the wing backs. Diawara, Lee, central midfield. Rob Wallace in the 10 position. Not encouraged to join the front 2 like the 10s for Bolton usually are. Pedersen and Ricketts up front. Moving on to Filbert Street, Leicester City. Will they reward owners this time? They make just the one change. It's potentially not good news for James Scowcroft owners, though he does start. Muzzy is at 65% fitness, was not able to recover in time for what would have been the Monday night fixture. And with Robbie Savage also likely out until game week 11, it means that Gunnlaugsson comes into the team, goes right up front with Dean Sturridge. James Scowcroft plays central midfield. They are Ian Walker. Very interestingly, the back 4 remains the same, but there's a positional change. Randomly, Jerry Taggart plays left back and Damien Delaney plays centre half. I have no idea what that is all about. So Delaney and Elliott, the centre halves, Rowett at right back, Taggart at left back. Dennis Wise is the sitter in midfield. James Scowcroft allowed to push into the 10 position. Andy Impey and Joby McAnuff really encouraged to push right up from the wing positions, and Gunnlaugsson joins Sturridge up front. On the bench for Leicester, Marriott, Matthew Jones, Matt Heath, Frank Sinclair, Cole Noble. A few names there I'm not familiar with, I will be honest. Derby make 2 changes. They'll be pleased to have Seth Johnson back. He comes back into the team in left wing in place of Boateng, and there is a start for 4.5 million midfielder Georgie Kinclardzie. OOP plays up front with Fabrizio Ravanelli. Malcolm Christie misses out. They are Oaks in goal. Mark Poom doesn't return from suspension until game week 12. Elliot Carbonari allowed to push out. Rigger, the back three. Johnson, Aranio, wing backs. Powell, Burley, Valakri, the midfield three. Kinclardzie, Ravanelli is split forwards. On the bench, Grant, Christie, Strupar, Dino, and Adam Murray. Moving on to the big clash at the Riverside. Motherfuckers. Come on, you Spurs. Middlesbrough make one change. Jonathan Green is back to full fitness. Comes in for Dean Windass in central midfield. Alan Boksic at 80%. Well done to Luke for your sims you did. We did think that it was probably unlikely to start. He does take a place on the bench for Middlesbrough. They are Crossley in goal. Fester and Stockdale, the fullbacks, encouraged to push on. Egiog and Southgate, the two centre halves. Gordon, Greening, Ince, Alan Johnston, the four in midfield. Noel Whelan and Rickard up front. On the bench for Middlesbrough with Boksic, Nemeth, Windass, Mark Somerville and sub-keeper Mark Schwarzer. For Spurs, few notes on them. Dean Richards and Ben Thatcher not fit enough yet, but could both be back for game week 11. Christian Ziege obviously got injured in the last minute of that defeat to Manchester United in game week 9. He's not likely to return until game week 13. There was a new signing for Spurs in the week. Richard Johnson, a midfielder, brought in for £575,000 from Watford. He's been given a price of £5 million, but he does not make the Spurs 16. However, there is an unfamiliar name in that Spurs lineup, and that is Pedrina. He plays in the left wing back position, a youngster brought in the summer from Portuguese football. I can exclusively reveal to you from the guys at Fancy Champ Man, thank you very much guys for the exclusive there, that he will be priced up as a 4.0 defender. He starts in the left wing back position. So Spurs are Keller, Bunjevcevic, Perry, King, the three centre halves, Pedrinha and Anderton, the wing backs. Guess what? I haven't got a Pedrinha chant, by the way. Poyet, central midfield. Selakovic allowed to push on from central midfield. Sheringham encouraged to join the front two from the 10 position. The front two are Everson and Rebrov. On the bench for Spurs, Neil Sullivan, Chris Armstrong, Simon Davis, Les Ferdinand and Anthony Gardner. Southampton make the two changes. Jason Dodd and Wayne Bridge are back in that lineup. Bridge back to full fitness. It means that Murray and Howard miss out. Howard is likely injured till game week 12. Remember, he's a 4.5 million rated forward, Howard, who normally plays on the left of midfield for Southampton. So they line up interestingly. Back four of Jones in goal, Bridge and Delap, the two fullbacks, encouraged to push on. Dodd plays centre half with Klaus Lundekvam. I believe our friend FPL Captain is one of the people who's bought Klaus Lundekvam this week. A decent fixture at home to Charlton. They've got, starting with this fixture, a nice 3 fixtures of the next 4, I believe. They've got an awkward Manchester United away game coming up, but 3 nice home fixtures on the bounce for Southampton. Gavin Ray pushes from left midfield to left back to left midfield. Dan Petrescu pushes up to right midfield. Mark Draper plays central midfield. It means that Anders Svensson is allowed to go centrally and push up into the number 10 position. Pahars and Kevin Davies continue to keep James Beattie out of the lineup. He's on the bench along with Paul Murray, Joe Tessam, Scott McDonald, sub-keeper Neil Moss. There are 3 changes for their opponents, Charlton Athletic at Southampton. Mark Fish is on international duty and will come straight back into a ban following his red card against Arsenal. Danny Shitu comes back into the lineup. Mark Kinsella is fit enough to take his place in the team. And Jason Newell serves his 1 game week ban this game week. It means that Graham Stewart plays OOP up front. Charlton are Kylie in goal, Powell, Shitu, Rufus Young the back 4. Wilcox and Kinsella are allowed to push on from the wide positions. Gary McAllister and Klaus Jensen central midfield. Graham Stewart is joined up front by Jonathan Johansson. On the bench for Charlton, Ben Roberts, Gavin Peacock, Eddie Yards, Andy Reid and John Robinson. Finally, to Upton Park. Some good news for West Ham. Amongst 4 changes, David James comes back into the West Ham team in place for Shaka Hislop. It's James's first appearance of this league season. Scott Minto is in for Somera at left back. Joe Cole, following his goal as a substitute at Leicester in game week 9, is back in the starting lineup. So too is Freddie Canute. Carrick and Defoe drop back out and onto West Ham's bench. They are James in goal, Minto, Repka, Daly, Newton. 2 wide players really encouraged to push on, Courtois and Sinclair. Joe Cole allowed to push on from central midfield. Don Hutchison is his partner. Di Canio, Canute up front. Defoe, Carrick, Kamara, Kitson, Shaka Hislop on the West Ham bench. And finally, let's bore ourselves to tears with Blackburn Rovers' defensive formation. Even at West Ham United, they're playing this shitty fucking defensive formation. This poxy 4-5-1. I can say that Grabby is the forward on this occasion. So let's see what happens with Grabby. Just while I finish the Blackburn team, I can tell you the 3 o'clocks are up and running. We have kicked off for game week 10. Blackburn make 4 changes. Greer, Marn, Janssen and Marcus Bent miss out. Taylor, Hughes, Duff and Jimmy Corbett come into the Blackburn team. They are Kelly in goal, retains his place in place of Brad Friedel. Bjornaby, Martin Taylor at centre-half with Henningberg. Curtis at right-back. 3 defensive midfielders, Mark Hughes, McAteer, 2 guys allowed to step out from that. Damien Duff on the left. Jimmy Corbett encouraged to go forward from the right in midfield. Corrado, Grabby up front. On the bench for Blackburn, Brad Friedel, David Dunn, Alan Marn, Marcus Bent and Matt Janssen. I'm going to have a bit of beer. Thank you very much, everybody. Very good luck in game week 10. So the 12% who captained, I think it was 12%, wasn't it? Captain Thierry Henry, obviously have already had their reward today. Captaincy very much split between Van Nistelrooy and Shearer. I have captained Shearer myself. I do own Van Nistelrooy as well. In terms of my own transfers, I've rolled this week. I picked Serrani in goal instead of Casey Keller. Just before I do that, because I've just seen it cut. Top transfers in this week. Mikel Silvestre, top, plus 90. Alan Johnson, Gordon Fester. 3 Middlesbrough players, Titus Bramble. Most sold, Ian Hart, 370, over 100 for Melchiot. Nolan, Viduka and Bellamy heavily sold as well. I just see that pop up. So I have Serrani in goal. I am back free of Sami Hyypiä, playing for Liverpool away to Chelsea. I am Laurent Blanc away to Aston Villa. And Nikos Davizas gets what I think will be his final start for me. We have our first goal of the day, and it has come at Upton Park. Defensive Blackburn Rovers away from home have conceded. The goal goes to Thomas Repka, who's been the most popular defensive option at West Ham. He scores, and I reckon a few might have even started him today. Laurent Courtois gets the assist. 2 minutes gone at Upton Park. Repka the goal scorer, Courtois with the assist. Just see there, Van Nistelrooy's ownership up to 80%. You can see on your screen there now, top right hand corner. Yeah, Van Nistelrooy 36%, captain Shearer 35%, and then following Henry on 12. Only Viduka and Boamorte more than 1%. Veron, Beckham, Scowcroft, Solano, Kuehl amongst the 1% captain. It really is a shootout between those big 3 this week. I think a number of people will sell Alan Shearer ahead of game week 11. So yeah, as I was saying, Serrani, Hyypiä, Laurent Blanc. Who else do I have? Oh, I've started Davizas. Left Richard Rufus on the bench. I left Kuehl on the bench. So I've gone with Finidi, who starts again up front for Ipswich. I've got Scowcroft and McAnuff and Alberto Solano. Shearer captain, Ruud van Nistelrooy. Henrik Pedersen away to Ipswich. So all my 11 are starting. News on the Thomas Repka goal for West Ham. West Ham love an early goal. They don't normally fucking hang on to the points though, do they? Thomas Repka scores from a corner, beating McAteer in the air to power ahead at home. West Ham also love to concede an early lead. They'll hope for better this time. Yes, certainly the Kings have fucking things up. And obviously a notable there, just what I mentioned it on Ledley King. As I mentioned in the team news, perhaps those are joining in late. If you have bought Ledley King, Dean Richards is likely back for Spurs in game week 11, which is an attractive home fixture against Ipswich. I would imagine Richards would come back in for King. And King's clean sheet is gone. Goal at the Riverside, motherfuckers. This will please many. Goal scorer is Dean Gordon. Assist to Alan Johnston. Middlesbrough, top of the league. Leeds Tottenham 1-0 after 4 minutes. Dean Gordon the goal scorer. Alan Johnston with the assist. Go for it, chatters. Ah, no. I just see FPL captain. Did start the clock. Don't know. Sorry, chaps. Do you know what, Chris? You definitely started the clock because I noticed it going. That's why I said that the games had kicked off. I don't suppose you can edit that, but I'll try and... Everything I've got an update on, I will time it. That Middlesbrough goal is timed at 4 minutes. Obviously, refer to your real times. It is 3:05 p.m, so there is about 5 minutes gone. You just have to remember, Cap, to calm it down at about 3:50 p.m. Glad I left Rufus on the bench. Southampton have an early lead, timed at 5 minutes against Charlton. Kevin Davis is the goal scorer, and Wayne Bridge has the assist. Back in that Southampton team today, he has the assist. I think there's a very small undercurrent, like our graphics guy, FPL captain, who have got some investment in Southampton starting this week. So, 3 early goals for West Ham, Thomas Repka, Middlesbrough, Dean Gordon, and Kevin Davis for Southampton. That's a nice, bright, lively start, isn't it? Hello to everybody joining in the chat. I see our friend Stephen White. Thank you very much for these bad boys, mate. Says, for fuck's sake. Cal's got Fester in. Samuel DB, Gordon Johnston combo, get in. It's going to be the biggest popular combination of Middlesbrough players, isn't it? I can confirm that Ipswich have a penalty at Portman Road. Tommy Miller plays the ball into the box and Colin Hendry knocks Kumas down in the box as the ball comes towards him. Penalty. The taker will be Jamie Clapham. Ipswich's left wing back will be taking that penalty. Just while we wait some additional information on that, obviously it would be, assist for Miller on the Middlesbrough goal. Middlesbrough flying this season. Johnston with some classic wing play, twisting and turning before crossing for Gordon, who arrives at the far post to drive the ball home. Had I made a transfer this week, it would have been for a Middlesbrough player. Easy to say in hindsight. And yes, the most obvious move would have been Ian Hart to Dean Gordon. But there you go. You win some and you lose some. I'm just not anticipating a good week. But I did say that once before, and also had a good game week. I think I'm put off by Flapjack's early double Arsenal defensive clean sheet in my Worthington Cup encounter with him through the Wolfpack boys. As you can see, or as you'd probably guess, that penalty has been dispatched at Ipswich. Does say Kumas assist. Oh, sorry, Hendry did knock Kumas down in the box. My apologies. So Jamie Clapham has scored for Ipswich. Assist goes to Jason Kumas. That is timed at 7 minutes. Ipswich lead Bolton by 1-0. 7 minutes gone at Portman Road. Brian Yules and come on, listen, another missed penalty. Unlucky. Final Richie said few anxious with the Ipswich triple up in defence. I think our friend Richie and Alex Paul are having a great season in this competition, aren't they? Brian Yules got 3 clean sheets gone. The fuck have you managed that, Brian? Well, you got Bolton, Tottenham and Blackburn defensively. There is a huge goal to tell you about at Villa Park. You can probably guess, can't you? It's not my captain, but it might be yours. Ruud van Nistelrooy has scored for Manchester United at Villa Park, and the goal scorer, the assist, goes to David Beckham. Van Nistelrooy, goal for Manchester United. Assist, David Beckham. 8 minutes gone at Villa Park. Our 5th goal already in this game week 10 of 3 p.m. kickoffs. Van Nistelrooy, the goal scorer. The assist goes to David Beckham. I think that puts Van Nistelrooy on 6 for the season, or is it 7? It will soon come round on your screen eventually. Keep your eyes on that bottom right hand corner where your scorers and your assists are constantly being updated by our friend Chris at FPL Captain. Okay, updates on some of the goals we've had recently go in. Jamie Clapham shows Pedersen and Veron how it's done. He puts it right in the corner, and that won't be stopped. Ipswich lead Bolton at Portman Road. And information on the Van Nistelrooy goal. Great work by Beckham. He goes on a long run and resists the pressure of Thomas Hitzelsberger to put in a lovely cross for Ruud Van Nistelrooy. Schmeichel comes out for the cross, but the Dutchman rises higher and heads home. Another key header for Van Nistelrooy. Fucking hell, he gets shitloads of them, doesn't he? And on the Southampton goal, great play by Wayne Bridge down the left, who puts the afterburners on before crossing for Kevin Davies, who is left with a simple finish at the far post. As a non-captainer, I wouldn't have been unhappy with a Van Nistelrooy blank today. I have to say, I can tell you that Ipswich have a second against Bolton at Portman Road. Jason Kumas has a goal to add to his assist, and Tommy Miller didn't get the assist for the first, but he's definitely got the assist on this one. 10 minutes gone at Portman Road. Kumas the goal scorer, Tommy Miller with the assist. Ipswich lead 2-0. For those just joining in, our clock unfortunately is running about 3 minutes behind schedule, so there is 10 minutes gone. Best thing to do, match your clock up with real time. Remember, our stream is also on around about a 30-second delay, but I think everybody in the chat's kind of got the rule in now and done very well not to provide spoilers, etc. So good stuff. Nash FIFA, Ruud, Becks and Veron, love it. You're loving about Veron, mate. Joel Stout. If Ruud Van Nistelrooy has 80% ownership and 36% captaincy, that's over 100% effective ownership. Correct. I have an ownership update from the official account. Ruud signed by 4% more managers, taking the ownership to 80%. Ian Hart crashes to 58%, crashes from 38% to 31% ownership, losing half of his ownership. Silvestre gains 7%, Gordon 5%, Fester 5%, Bramble 5%, Hariderson 4%, mopping up the Ian Hart sales. Johnston has gained another 6% of owners, also popular transfer in this week. Information on the Kumas goal. I don't believe we have another one for Ipswich. Great play from Ipswich. Tommy Miller goes on a great run, puts in a low cross for Kumas. He plays a 1-2 with Jermaine Wright in the box before driving it home low. Ipswich look great. If nothing changes, they'll be comfortable. Just to clarify, we've got a penalty to Bolton now to tell you about at Portman Road. Michael Ricketts is through on goal and takes the ball around Matteo Sereni. Oh, Jesus Christ. My keeper's been sent off. Who then clips his ankles. It's a penalty to Bolton and the ref shows a red card to Sereni. Rob Lee to take the penalty. I've got Pedersen as well. He ain't taking. I've just lost my fucking goalkeeper. Bollocks. Part of the reason for potentially waiting was that I definitely didn't want to double Ipswich. And it might mean that a move to Hariderson from Ian Hart is potentially my move looking forward, therefore. So we'll wait news on that Bolton penalty. And I can give you some further updates on some ins and outs this week as well. We'll just wait on some information on that Bolton penalty, which I guess a lot of people in the community will obviously be holding on potentially to an Ipswich clean sheet. The penalty has been scored. Robert Lee has scored that penalty. Assist goes to Michael Ricketts. Bolton have pulled one back already. 12 minutes gone at Ipswich. They are 2-1 down, but Ipswich obviously down to 10 men through that Matteo Sereni red card. I can't complain. I had Keller penalty save last week, so you win some and you lose some. Will we see any more goalkeeper shenanigans this game week? We shall wait and see. Ikejeffo says, I was so close to bringing in Sereni this week. Thank God. Brian Yule's so glad I put Keller in goal over Sereni. Might get sent off yet. Worth saying that obviously goals that Ipswich concede does still affect Sereni, doesn't it? So any further goals they concede. I see my boy Stephen White say, unlucky James, mate. Shit happens, doesn't it? You can't win them all, mate. Leicester City have the lead at Filbert Street. And I'm really pleased for those who felt bad. when Dean Sturridge was replaced early in game week 9. He has repaid the faith and has given Leicester the lead against Derby County. Assist goes to Andy Impey. Dean Sturridge has given Leicester the lead at Filbert Street against Derby. As said, really pleased for those who were unlucky in game week 9. Less pleased for those who raised transferred him out. So I'm sure there may have been a few. FPL coach said he swapped his transfer in from Sereni to Seaman this morning. Nice move. I just can't shake the feeling that David Seaman's going to lose his place. I just can't shake it. But yeah, it's a possible way into Arsenal for me actually as well. Edward Healy, hands up who else is on triple Ipswich defence including Sereni. Wow, boom ting. What a start to this game at Portman Road. Ipswich bringing off Pablo to bring on replacement goalkeeper Andy Marshall. Well, not fault, obviously. Someone's got to be sacrificed there, haven't they? But he can do nothing about Rob Lee's penalty planted into the bottom corner. Ipswich have 78 minutes to hold on. And Champman FPL managers around the world go, I don't care. My clean sheet's already gone. Andreas Reza, FPL Badger, Billy Taylor, Scala, FPL Cobbler, just a few. Brad Lewandon, well done on your Dean Sturridge return there, guys. Really well done. Steph, I started on this one because it was the most of them. It's nice, pal. Good job. Nash FIFA. So Cole assist and clean sheet. Ricketts assist. Rude captain. And Nex assist. Now Sturridge goal. Flying. Come on. Go, mate. So information on the Leicester goal is news of a substitution in that fixture as well. Derby have been forced to replace the injured Carbonari with Dianio. And they're missing him already. Impey puts a great cross in where the Argentine would have been patrolling, but Sturridge is left free to finish high into the net. I wonder if that means that Craig Burley has gone back into centre half again. I would have thought that would make sense. I don't really know if Burley's got any ownership still knocking about or not. It was obviously very popular going into game week 1. That's what I would have thought. It's probably Craig Burley back into centre half there. So potentially a positive of possibly more goals there for Leicester. FPL JJ, hello mate. First time watching the stream, questioning why. Love it. Just enjoy it, pal. Villa behind. You're a Villa fan. I mean, it's not unexpected playing at home to Man United, but it's fairly standard, isn't it, pal? FPL boosters in. Dick Wellington, a few more Sturridge goals, and I'll forgive you for last game week. Listen, what is he? 5.5? You're not expecting much at that level, mate. Take any return you've got. Steph says this Soundwave IPA is a bit naughty. Yeah, I'll let you know about that in about an hour and a half, pal. Nash FIFA, yes, supposed to be Bex. I got that, but Next just came off so much better, mate. Rob McTaggart bought Sturridge in for Rebroff. Happy days till Rebroff gets a hat-trick. Clean sheet wipeout. Just joking. It's just a guy in the comments. Sereni and Friedel, my current goalkeeper, is going to have an issue soon if Friedel doesn't get his place back and Sereni suspended. Yeah. Luke, our friend Disable's in the chat. Hello, pal. Still every goal a cross or a pen. James O'Mahony. How are the Borough doing? Alright, motherfuckers. I sent the ownership update again. They were keen. They've added some pictures this time. Picture of Dean Gordon looking a bit constipated, actually. Yeah, get your notifications off. If FPL Hitman says just transferred out Burley this week. FPL Field late risers on for team of the week. That man knows his onions for sure. You're welcome, JJ. No probs, pal. Thank you, Brendan. Brendan Davis, that is. Thank you. Late riser 12. Need a quiet game for Shearer. I don't. I realise my game week probably hinges on what Alan Shearer does in the 5:30, actually. James, Pompey in Uganda. Shearer is going to ruin our day, isn't he? Fucking hope so, pal. But you won't see me being smug about it because it'll be 5:30 and I'll be playing with a little man probably in the garden. Ian Parrin, Seaman, Cole, Gordon, Johnston, Ruth Van Nistelrooy and Sturridge. You're killing it, mate. Nice. Well played. Rory Bowen-Molte, how soon can I wild card? Rory, every time you whinge, man, you end up tearing it up. You've become like the undercurrent legend of these streams, mate. We all know you've probably got someone captained in the 5:30 again, probably called Alan Shearer. Ike Jeffo, am I crazy for captain Johnson over Shearer and Henry? Not at all. Alan Johnson at Middlesbrough is looking one of, the most reliable, consistent players in this game at the moment. If I'd have made a move this week, it definitely would have been Middlesbrough. I think the only one I would have considered is Southampton, actually, as a bit of an alternative. But I think the moves I'd really considered were either Hart to Gordon or Kuehl to Johnston. That's the way I think I would have played it. I might have gone Southgate, in fairness, over Gordon. Middlesbrough have a second at the Riverside, motherfuckers. Less popular this time. No, Whelan the goal scorer, Hamilton Rickard with the assist. Fuck off. Come on, Spurs, what are you playing at? Middlesbrough flying, and they should have just got them in. There you go. Pep Talk says that's not crazy, but a very brave move. Gary Robinson was planning on buying Veron, but not sure I can justify it with Beck's form. Veron, a poor man's Keane. I have no intention to get Veron back in, personally. I mean, Van Nistelrooy, Southampton at home, Bolton at home, Middlesbrough away, Everton at home. I mean, he's definitely captain in the next 2 home games. Everton are not that bad defensively, so I may review game week 14 as and when we get there. Definitely captain in Van Nistelrooy in the next 2. So, for me, Veron really only comes into play if Van Nistelrooy is out, I think. That's my personal take. I would rather... And everyone's, he's going to go mental. And do you know what? At some point he is. Like, obviously, he showed last week he's capable of, and he very much could do today. But I just feel I'd rather spread that money, and then I can play with the fixtures better. I think if you go back, you've got to persist with it again. If you get him back in for those 2 game weeks, and he blanks, are you off again? Knowing that he could quite easily go to Middlesbrough and tear it up like he did at Tottenham last week. I realise Middlesbrough look a far better side than Tottenham in this at the moment. I don't know. Veron's not for me. So the teams I'm looking at most are Middlesbrough, obviously, and the one I want to attack next week is Liverpool. Really got a close eye on what's happening with the status of Robbie Fowler in midweek, because that could Shearer to Fowler, downgrades anything. Kuehl to Johnson, like I said, Hart to Middlesbrough or Ipswich or something. Loads of ways I can go with it. I might come back and have a second look at Southampton, although I wouldn't this week, obviously, because I've got Manchester United away, but further down the line. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if I end up making about 4 transfers this game week and taking a -8. I was really happy with what I had on my lot this week. That's why I couldn't really justify the moves. Gives me a bit more time to make a decision on Ian Hart going forward, because I kind of like the idea that so many people have sold him. And following that fixture looked bad today, Chelsea at home, Newcastle away, Leicester away, Charlton at home, isn't that bad. If he's back in for the sort of like that Newcastle or the Leicester fixture, I might hold it. I might just hold it. We'll see. Update on that Whelan goal for Middlesbrough. Borough extend their lead. Keller fists across the way, but not very far. Rickard picks the ball up and finds Whelan, who lashes home. But oh dear, Whelan has injured himself scoring the goal and is coming off. Alan Boxic is on. I don't know, if you're a Boxic owner, if that's a good thing or a bad thing. On paper, it's a good thing, because you're now looking at a minimum of a 2-pointer. You're going to get, 65 odd minutes. Remember, our clock is about 3 minutes behind at the moment. But will he stay fit? Will he make it through? I'm not convinced that he'll make till full time on that. We'll see. He's injury prone as. Update from Goodison Park. 23 minutes gone, where it remains goalless between Everton and Fulham. Little low in the first half action allows us to update you from Goodison. Duncan Ferguson has seen his header clip the post and go wide, while Edwin van der Sar has seen yellow for a clumsy challenge near the corner flag. As you are, very even at Goodison. Ed Cannon, just a rude non-cap goal for me so far. Yep, join the club, my man. Gary Shepherd, Whelan a decent option as well. There be gold in that there Borough. Be interesting to see how bad that injury is for Whelan, because actually it could bring some interest back into Rickard. There'd be so much focus on Boxic. I'm keen to keep an eye on that, actually. Billy Hadaway, isn't Fowler on 5% finish? Yes, he is. But I think if he's up to sort of 85%-ish in time for game week 11, which remember, oh yes, it will be Wednesday for us, but it's a full week away, then I think there's every chance he might play with Newcastle at home, and he might be one that's worth a risk. He has as well, Robbie Fowler, also has high hidden injury proneness numbers. If you want to do some digging, I'll tell you what, if you've got some time at half time, I might go through it at half time. But our friend Luke at Disabled provided me with some brilliant numbers of players. Fuck it, I'll go through some of them at half time. Some players who have injury proneness higher than Boxic, and Robbie Fowler is one of them. But I'm just really tempted to give it a chance, you know. Really tempted. I definitely see me having Fowler or Heskey at some point in the coming weeks, with obviously Lippmann out long term, Michael Owen out long term. I see me having one of them. It could be that I end up defaulting to Heskey's level, ending up with sort of a front three of, say, Van Nistelrooy, Shearer, Boxic, Van Nistelrooy, Boxic, Heskey, something like that. Could be the way I end up going. So I intend as well for next week to be my last week of Henrik Pedersen as well. They've got Villa at home, then it's United away, Everton away, Newcastle at home. So it feels like the right time to come back off that following that Aston Villa home fixture for Henrik Pedersen next week. That's in my plan. So do I go Shearer Fowler next week, or do I potentially go Pedersen Heskey or Pedersen Boxic the week after? That's the sort of thing I'm trying to debate at the moment. I've got no nailed in set plans for game week 11. Ian Paris says something maybe for half time, James. When do we get news on possible doubles and blanks for game weeks 13, 15 and 16? The bad news is probably not till next Sunday night. I think we'll probably have a good picture on the boys 9:30 stream. Best thing I can recommend absolutely is follow at Ben Krellin too. I know a lot of people in the community think I'm a poor man's Ben Krellin's at the best of time. I don't have the game to be able to look into my own simulation, so I'm myself very much leaning on Ben for that kind of information at the moment. Unless it becomes obvious from Liverpool's Champions League fixture in midweek, then not tomorrow but probably next Sunday night is when we can really path out the plan from there. And obviously it could mean that Liverpool have a double in game week 13 and we don't know it till game week 12 is gone. That is currently a possibility. Update from Upton Park. Blackburn really having a go at West Ham here. They played some fucking attacking players, wouldn't it? But to be fair to the Hammers, their defence looks very solid. Henning Berg has been booked for Rovers. Luke's in the chat saying people lack of understanding on injury and condition is a tad frustrating. I'll go through some players that are concerned because of hidden stats. I'll go through that at half time. FPL Chancellor's in. Hello, Dan. Headbutting a goalpost in celebration and hurling himself seems a very no Whelan thing to do. FPL fell. A fit Owen would have been class. Stretched the game more. Block FPL. I'm expecting a Burmore, a blank, unfortunately. I expect him to return. They've said that. Luke says on Boxic, be surprised if he lasts 90 minutes given his low condition. Early sub, tired is more likely than a new injury. Okay, but new injury always a chance with his injury proneness of 14. I mean, you would have thought at 2-0 up, you wouldn't have bothered to take the chance, would you? That would have been the sensible thing, really. Our friend the Scout is in. Rob Picks this afternoon. Mr. Pilkinson. Hello, mate. How you doing? You're just jealous because I'm beautiful in my own kind of roundabouts way. Think I've had more positive returns now than I have in the previous 2 game weeks. You've got to be winning the Scout competition this week because I went with... who did I go with? We got a 1 point. I went with Perez. 1 pointer. He's got Scowcroft. So as long as Scowcroft avoids an early substitution or a booking, you've got it this week. But I am 6-3 up in my competition with the scout. I hit 5 in a row there. He was getting a bit cocky after game week 4. John Jacobson, poor man's Krellin. Yeah, if you listen to the pod regularly, you know more about that. Mass respect to Ben for everything he does. He's a ledge, mate. Petzl, FPL Phil, yeah, really disappointing Owen not available. Could really have changed the template. I agree with that. FPL Hitman, what game week is a good time to wildcard? Whenever you like, mate. There's no rights or wrongs. Said that from game week 1 on this one. There isn't a defined, this is your best chip strategy or anything like that. I'm someone who wants to exploit doubles, etc. If I can. It's one of the ways I can try and exploit other people. So I'll be holding it. I anticipate using it probably game week 15 or game week 16. That's my guess. It just depends where the lie is on the doubles and that. And I can confirm that Rob Scout has definitely won the Scout competition this week because James Scowcroft has an assist for Leicester City. They lead 2-0. Goal scorer is Arne Gunnlaugsson. So Leicester now lead Derby 2-0 and perhaps doing a little bit more what people had hoped they would be doing. Half hour gone there at Filbert Street. Gunnlaugsson the goal scorer and the assist goes to James Scowcroft. Half hour gone there. Just reminder our clock is unfortunately running about 3 minutes behind. So you're probably best off keeping an eye on the time at the moment. 30 minutes gone. Leicester lead Derby 2-0. If you're joining in on the stream late, that's absolutely fine. You can catch up on all the scorers and the assists if you follow the bar going across the bottom of your screen, which obviously includes Arsenal's 3-0 win in the lunchtime kickoff. Included a double for Thierry Henry, captained by 12% of players. And obviously in the bottom right-hand corner here as well. I'll come back to that because we have a second goal at St Mary's as well. They have also doubled their lead, and I think this will be a popular goal scorer for differential lovers. Anders Svensson has scored for Southampton against Charlton. No assister in that goal. 31 minutes gone at St Mary's. Anders Svensson has got the second for Southampton. Yeah, sorry, what I was saying is bottom left-hand corner here, you can keep an eye on upcoming fixtures. Next 4 fixtures for clubs. What else we got there? Top scorers, top assists, ownership numbers, top captaincy. That'll keep spinning round on a loop during the day. And as I said, you can catch up all your scorers and assists at the bottom of your screen. The updated scores are top right-hand corner and top left-hand corner. Please give the guy underneath me a follow. If you don't know me, my name's James. Or Cole Pilkinson, some prefer. Which I'm alright with that. I've had worse. Oh, there's a boom of tweets from the official account. I'll start at Villa Park because there's yellow cards there. A couple of quick fire yellows here for United. Keane and Beckham go in the book. This has actually been very even. Villa have a good go and both sides have decent chances. United lead though. Update on the Svensson goal. All about Marion Pahars, this one. He receives the ball from Ray and goes on a nice little run before striking the ball against the post. The ball bounces out to Svensson and he beats Kylie, who was still recovering. I want to question the assist on that one. So Pahars hits the post. I don't know if that falls under the line of rebounds from saves or... I don't know. Isn't that a little... If you hit the post from a penalty, would you get the assist? I'm not sure. I think that one might want looking at, guys. And it's probably a good one to look at because... who's your man there? Pahars. Goal for Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. None of you got William Gallas still, have you? He scored. Liverpool's clean sheet is gone. William Gallas is the goal scorer for Chelsea. No assist on that goal at Stamford Bridge. William Gallas, the goal scorer. Yeah, it might be a good one to clarify there, guys, on the Svensson goal. Obviously, you're not giving it as an assist, and we'll obviously abide by whatever rules you choose. But I don't know if there's anything in that in terms of if it comes off the post rather than being saved. One for your adjudicating panel to perhaps send a nice little cute tweet out at half time. Give yourself some fucking work to do, boys. You're doing a great job. On the Gunnlaugsson goal for Leicester, direct from Leicester and it works. Scowcroft goes long from deep in his own half. Gunnlaugsson has space to control the ball and turns towards goal. He beats Riggets before hammering the ball past Andy Oakes. Cracking finish. I had a Scowcroft assist, and now I've got a Joby McAnuff goal. Leicester are 3-up against Derby County. Joby McAnuff is the goal scorer. Assist goes to Gary Rowett. If I'm not mistaken, that's 6 different returners from the Leicester 11. Just want to trace over my steps there. So Sturridge and Impey on the first. Gunlagsson and Scowcroft on the second. McAnuff and Rowett on the third. 6 of Leicester's outfield 10 have provided an attacking return. Cue some people in the chats going, I've got fucking Delaney or Elliott or Taggart. Yeah, but you might have the clean sheet as well. So Leicester lead Derby 3-0. Wow. McAnuff has scored. I'm really pleased with that buy. I said that in the week as well. That was get me off that 4.5 level. Guy seems to be starting every week. He's a good one most week. I can have as like first sub when they've got shit fixtures. I'm really pleased with that signing. Pet talk. Gallas, get in. Of course not. Only joking. On that Gallas goal, Chelsea have been well on top here. And now they have to break through. Zola puts in the cross. Dudek punches the ball away, but only as far as William Gaz. He runs onto it and strikes an unstoppable 25-yard shot into the top corner. We are 36 minutes gone, I believe. For those joining the chat a little late, our clock is on a slight delay, unfortunately. We're around about 36 minutes gone. I see John Jacobson also has McAnuff. Woody Backs in the chat says, afternoon. Hello, mate. Thought you couldn't join on Saturdays. Thought you weren't allowed, pal. You seem to say that every week and keep being here. I'm not complaining, by the way. Taylor Cross looking for Delaney to bag next. FPL chance, can we go back to when Spurs were 1-up on Wednesday night? I suspect that was the high point of our season. Not wrong. On the McAnuff goal, Leicester absolutely running away with it. Good play. Good fullback play by Gary Rowett, finding good space on the flank before crossing in for Joby McAnuff, who puts a fine right-footed drive into the net. Brilliant. Andrew Martin clarifying on the Southampton goal. That's absolutely fine, mate. Just thought it was worth the question. It says, if it's not listed as an assist in the game, we won't give it. The only assist we will give is those who win the penalty. That's cool, mate. No problems at all. Clean sheet wipeout for a comment in the chat. It says, let's hope these home goals continue in the 5:30 kickoff. FBL Hitman. What a lit up Saturday morning. Where are you, Hitman? Let us know. Jonathan Nagy. Bloody hell, Leicester have got a fourth. Sturridge has scored again. 4-0 Leicester. Impey with another assist as well. Bloody hell, Sturridge has got 2. Leicester are 4-up against Derby. And everybody who made that move last week can feel absolutely justified no matter what happens next. I said on Wednesday night, it wasn't about one game. It was about at least 2 and maybe 4. And game 2, you can't argue that they're providing right now. They are 4-up inside 37 minutes against Derby County. A Derby who I also said in the week, they're not shy of conceding goals away from home. Woody Bat says he's just dropping in to make sure us lot are behaving ourselves. I wouldn't fucking... You got no hope of that. Yes to my boy CSW. I might have to start calling you that, mate. FPL Lucky, FP Lucky, how you doing, pal? What a roller coaster so far. Was going Hart, Richards last minute change to Ashley Cole. Arsenal game, yeah, piss off about Arsenal. Dick Wellington, Uncle Dean, my guy. Stephen White, wow. Joe Finney Baller, yes, Daniel, do your dance. Oh, I've got a beer in my hands. It's not really going to work at the moment. Christoph Sand, Dino, my guy. Ryan, god damn it, what the fuck. Ryan, I didn't see you jump in my DMs on Wednesday night. I know you was having a stressful first half, and then it seems to get much better for you in the second half. Like, again, pal, you can talk it over if you need to, mate. Pet Talk says, Sturridge, not joking this time. Rob McTaggart got Sturridge in for Rebroff. Get in. I mean, Sturridge, I'm pleased for you because that was shit the other night. And that's great. If you'd have had 1 goal the other night and 1 goal today, you would absolutely take that. You've got your returns. Well done. And for Scala, who's actually brought him in this week, and I don't mind that either. I think that's decent. FPL Hitman Canada, sir. I've missed a few streams last couple of weeks due to work. I've missed this. No probs, pal. You can join us for some of the late night shenanigans. 3 weeks from now, 24-hour live stream. What the fuck have we done to ourselves? What are the clues? Sturridge in for Henry is looking okay now, and I also got Veron in. Sturridge for Henry, boom. I mean, that's got some ups and downs, hasn't it? But yeah, what did you do with the other 8 million or so? Nash FIFA, so many points. I want to see Dean Sturridge owners. I want you to hashtag ChampmanFPL, and I want you to @ me in your tweet, and let's see your Dean Sturridge dances on Twitter, you brave fuckers. If you're that happy, I want to see you doing your Dean Sturridge, Uncle Daniel Sturridge, or Nephew Daniel Sturridge impression. Yeah, let's see that all over Twitter today. Hashtag that shit. Start a craze. I fucking @ Daniel Sturridge while you're at it as well, and @ Dean Sturridge if he's on Twitter. Let's make some fun of it. James Pompey Uganda having a good week, but with all the captains banging, a Shearer blank, and it's a red arrow. Yes, I'm there with you, mate. I suspect as the other two have banged that Shearer probably won't. Again, can't win them all. Ryan's also really pleased with Dean Gordon goal immediately after transferring him. What are you crying about, Ryan? Come on, man. Taylor Cross, if Derby have a man off, it's going to be double figures. It's really not. By the way, all that about how well they're doing, Leicester won't score again. Put your feet up and forget about it. That's it. They're finished. It's now about whether they keep the clean sheet or not. That's it. They're finished. FPL Hitman wants to inject them 24-hour shenanigans. I'm not sure. I might have fucking need to inject something else to keep me going. I don't do any of that gear, by the way. FPL Panda, I better have a few more beers. Yes, you better. Paul Mann says, @ all the Sturridges. Yes, let's get some Daniel Sturridge dances going in the Champman community for Dean Sturridge. We are, I would say, about 3 minutes till half time. I hope you're all having a good game week, and if not, I hope that the game and this stream and everything else is just bringing a little bit of Saturday afternoon joy to your lives. Pet Talk, you really don't want to see me dancing, James. Trust me. Yes, I absolutely fucking do. Brendan Davis, was Simon because you put Stubbridge, it made me stutter. Was Simon Stubbridge related to Dean? I presume you mean Simon Sturridge. I have no idea who that is. We've got a sitter missed at the Riverside, motherfuckers. Bunjevcevic. It's easy for me to say because it's my player. It's a great shot and Crossley makes the save. The ball drops straight to Rebov, who just has to tap it home, but he puts it wide. Come on, Sergei, man. Fuck's sake. Gary Robinson has a home team scored 5 yet this season. Blackburn against Villa springs to mind. 5-2. Coach is in. Right, let's have it. Seaman, Beckham, Johnston, McAnuff, Sturridge, Rude, Van Nistelrooy with the big C for captain. Buzzing. FPL Pan, I think Uncle Dean dancing would be a lot better than me. You get him to fucking dance as well, mate. Nash FIFA, all I need is Veron and Collins points, and I've got points off everyone. Jesus Christ, mate. Give us your old team then. It's when he sends the team and he's got like 5 players in the 5:30 kickoff. Anurag, how's people's Wolfpack matchup so far? Lol. Mine's in big trouble, I think, mate. Gary Mantle, in 1998, Leicester went 4-0 up against Derby after 15 minutes. The game ended 4-0. Very true, that. That was at Pride Park also. And all 4 of Leicester's goals were headers. I'm going to show some mad-ass memory here. Ian Marshall scored. Heskey got 2. Shit, I don't know, got the other one. Is it? I think it was Is it. Yeah, Is it? Yeah, I think it was Is it. Marshall, Is it, and Heskey 2, I think. Let me know if I'm right about that, Gary. I'm pretty sure I am. It's locked in here, mate. Stephen White wants some people to do some edits of something. I'm trying. I realised that particularly on the Saturdays, I should probably curb my swearing a little bit. I keep seeing people posting videos of like people watching me on their TV or on their laptop or something, which is cool. It's nice. I mean, I put the black screen on personally or something. Probably good for the graphics and that. But I seen someone put it up last week. It was like, yeah, got James on full blast. Me and the daughter playing in the garden, and it was like 3 o'clock on a Saturday. And I was like, I'm not sure this is right. Get some headphones, whoever that was. I think it might have been. Was it Willie Back? Apologies if it wasn't. It was someone who's definitely regularly in the chat. Sorry, I can't remember who it was. If you remember it was you, put it in the chat and let us know. It was brilliant. It made me laugh so hard when I come off the stream. John Jakobsen, Shearer scores, the average will be massive. That is absolutely correct. Can't argue that. I have an update from the Fantasy Champ Man account. It's a bit of an exclusive that I can reveal to you. Nobody in the top 50 had Henry as captain. Obviously, plenty will have Van Nistelrooy, but nobody in the top 50 had Henry as captain. Very interesting one there. Substitution at Portman Road. Pretty equal game here, despite Ipswich having 10 men. Jabril Diawara is injured here and he's off with Paul Warhurst coming on. Colin Cooper is in the back. What do you mean Colin Cooper is in the back? what does that mean? Colin Cooper's in the back. I meant to do some ownership numbers earlier, didn't I? I had a little bit more on that. In terms of some players brought in and brought out. Let's see what we've got here from my man captain who's got it. Shout out as well to, I might have done it, but if I didn't, Whitebeard, who was also helping our friend captain with some of the numbers for his stats. Cap, I can't get them graphics up, unfortunately, mate, at the moment, but I'm going to take your word from it and assume it was all really good stuff, and you've put it in the ownership numbers anyway, is what I'm going to assume. Van Nistelrooy, most owned, 80%. Half times confirmed. So, yes, ignore the clock, top right-hand corner, which we're running a couple of minutes there behind on the clock. I can confirm half time's gone. Couple of things I want to do, actually. Stay with me. I'm going to go through a list of players for you shortly who have injury proneness higher than Alan Boxic, which has been given to me by Luke Scout. He has put it on Twitter anyways. It's not in a response to me, so it's not top secret or anything. But just a shout out to obviously our guys, Andy, Dave and James. So a lot of people have asked them about the prospect of setting up a Patreon in terms of like how could we make a donation to them to say thank you for obviously putting this game together and stuff. So they didn't want to do that. The guys never wanted, I know this, the guys never wanted to make this about a money thing. They're enjoying it, right? It's helping them through their struggles and our struggles in terms of this lockdown, etc. They never wanted the money thing out of it. So they've set up a GoFundMe page, and proceeds go to the Trussell Trust. It's a nationwide network for food banks to provide emergency food and support for people locked into poverty, basically. Inside the first 24 hours, they've already raised well in excess of £1,000, which is astonishing. And I just think, like, for them, and actually for all of you who have donated and stuff as well, I just think it speaks so much about people's enjoyment in this game and the light relief that it's giving people, etc. So if you do want to donate to the guys there, I've retweeted it yesterday. I've donated, obviously. And you can as well if you want to, be it small amount, larger amount, only obviously offer up whatever you can afford, etc. Hold on to some of it for our donations for our 24-hour stream in 3 weeks. I'm kidding. Bang these guys the money. It's a great charity and that, and massive shout out to the guys again. Really, really well done. brilliant stuff. Right, so I promised you some players who have basically, in the simulation of the game itself, there are a lot of hidden numbers. Our friend Captain saying time will be fixed for second half. Well done, mate. He's locked it on 45 minutes. Basically, there's hidden statistics within the game. Alan Boksic has a hidden statistic of injury proneness of 14 out of 20. It's quite high. So I said to Luke when he shared this the other day, and listen, like I said, it's on Twitter, so it's not hidden stuff anyway, so he won't mind me sharing it. It's Luke from Scout Disable in the chat. I said to him, look, are there any other players we should really watch out for who, like Boksic, are prone to injury? And he sent a picture back within about a minute of every player who had an injury proneness of more than Boksic, so 15 or more, and these are rated out of 20. So Boksic has a 14 out of 20. Yes, to the Fantasy Champ Man account with word has it someone's captain their uncle tree. That's brilliant. That one needs a quick share. So yes, there are a load of players, believe it or not, who are far more injury prone than Boksic. I would, however, suggest that 14 out of 20 is still pretty high for an injury prone. So I'm going to go through some of these names for you. Some of them won't mean a lot, some will. Michael Owen has a high injury proneness. Every player, I don't know the exact numbers of all these, but there's still, 15 or more injury proneness. Steven Gerrard, Robbie Fowler, who's one I'm really looking at, Robbie Fowler. Sabrici Lamici at Arsenal, don't know who that is. Michael Carrick, Ronnie Johnson, who's close to returning to fitness at Manchester United. Duncan Ferguson, Vladimir Smicer at Liverpool, we know is out for a while. Christian Ziege, who keeps getting injured, doesn't he, at Spurs. Vegard Hegem at Liverpool as well. There's a load of Liverpool players on this. Steve Malbranque at Fulham, who a lot of us started with or then jumped on. He has high injury prone. Carnu, Darren Anderson, old sick note. You could expect him, couldn't you? Michael Ricketts at Bolton is one to be careful of. Jamie Redknapp at Liverpool, you'd expect. Sylvan Wiltord at Arsenal's not getting any time. Quinton Fortune at Man United. Stephen Carr, who's obviously now at Aston Villa, has high injury proneness. Tony Adams at Arsenal. Sean Davis at Fulham. Chris Perry at Spurs. Alan Armstrong at Ipswich. Stu Porr at Derby. Neil Sullivan, who's back up to Casey Keller at the moment. Paul Ocon at Middlesbrough, I think started the season. I think a lot of people seem to have forgotten that. Paul Kitson at West Ham. Sylvan Legwinski at Fulham, who's currently suspended. Graham Lasso, Michael Dewberry, who's back up at Leeds. Diawara at Bolton, who's gone off injured today. Ian Pearce, who's now at Middlesbrough from West Ham. Jason Wilcox is another one. Chris Coleman, Fulham, has a long-term injury. Dan Petrescu at Southampton. Radzicki at Everton has just come back. Lewis Zaha has high injury proneness. David May at United. Paul Murray and Matt Oakley at Southampton. Paul Gascoigne, you would expect. Alan Mabry at Leeds. Paul Warhurst at Bolton. Stoices is another one at Fulham. You got Cleland and Paul Gerrard at Everton. Gerrard had missed some time as well. Scott Parker at Charlton. Noel Whelan at Middlesbrough has gone off today. Stanislav Varga and Kevin Kilban at Sunderland. Sebastian Schemmel at West Ham. Stepanovs and Pennant, less important. Arsenal. Bogart's obviously moved on. Steve Finnan at Fulham. He's out long term, I believe. Jukanovic at Chelsea, and Gotti at Bolton, and Joe Max Moore at Everton. And nearly every player that I mentioned on that list has had an injury already this season. So if you're buying any of those players, I would recommend go back to Luke at FFScout_Luke had sent a tweet out with some Boksic simulations early in the week where it looked like Boksic probably wasn't going to play the minutes this week, and it was absolutely proved correct. And I've sent a response to him saying, is there anyone else we should be aware of, just generally speaking? Not this week, but just generally. And he sent me that list back. So that list is available for Luke's Twitter account. You can find it. Some very, very interesting numbers in there. Settled out. I'm probably still going to buy Robbie Fowler, by the way. All right. So let's see what's happening in the chat. Andrew, no problem, man. Absolute pleasure, mate. No problem at all. Some really nice comments in there in the chat about obviously the promotion of the account, etc. The charity fundraising stuff that the guys are doing. Oh, I've lost my tweet deck. That's annoying. I need that, or you lot won't get any fucking Twitter updates. Hold on a minute. Anybody who's coming in for the first time was expecting something professional should really jog on. Basically, it was nearly worse. Nearly lost the stream again. Right, so Luke, my man, no problem, pleasure. I've just seen your message there offline. No probs. Clean sheet wipeout saying, yep, raised 1,150 so far. And I think that's from about 70 people as well. So if you think, you know, there's been averaging about 200 people in this stream or so, if all of you wanted to donate another $5 or so, or anything you can afford, that would be like amazing, wouldn't it? So if you're in here, it's probably because you're enjoying the game and the work that the guys have done. So look, if you're struggling financially, please don't donate. But if you can donate some money, if there's something, you know, what would you have done with your weekend if you weren't in lockdown? Would you have gone out and had a couple of pints? Give it to the guys and their fundraiser there. David Storm's giving hands. Speedy Reedy, holy shit, amazing. Brewery saying fair play, lads. Chris Harmitage, superb returns that so far. Rob Breed, great cause, well done all. FPL Hitman, our community is awesome. Yeah, that's kind of to reiterate like what I was saying there as well. John Jacobson, well done everyone for donating. Wasn't aware, so we'll do so later. You can find it, like I said, I retweeted it. If you want to go to my account, which is top left, or you can go to the Fantasy Champman account, you'll find it. It'd probably be easier to find it through mine now because we're obviously doing so many tweets through their updates. Perhaps the guys can share that again tonight, maybe following the 5:30 game, or even actually maybe guys you could share it in between the 4:45 5:30. You probably don't want to do that, but I think a lot of people might want to see it as well. So, but it'll be easy enough to find through my timeline because I definitely haven't sent the volume of tweets out that they have. Scarlett's saying awesome stuff. Stephen Hamilton, the organisation I work for, run a Trust food bank from our office. So much appreciated, lads. Amazing, isn't it? Christopher Sam, also really joining this community. Fair play to all involved. Right, let's move back to the football stuff. It seems to be where everyone's talking about following that. So, if you've got any major talking points that you want me to cover in a little bit more detail, now is probably quite a good time if you want to throw it in the chat, guys. Luke confirming that Shearer's injury proneness is 12 out of 20. Thank you for that, Luke. I imagine a few probably would have been asking on that. As I can see, Speedy was, yeah. Andy G, the Golf Pro, nice to be back to a high-scoring week. Good, well done. Is my man Suj in the chat? Suj is in the house, guys. Suj says, I want to buy a David Beckham, high on my list. Tomo says, afternoon, Suj, I sold Bex for Veron. Sujan Shah says, oof, Tomo, I doubt I'd ever afford Veron now. We've all got the same 100 million to play with, Suj. Shams in the chat, afternoon, mate. What a pro. 24-hour stream will be a piece of cake for you. Maybe not Suj. Lol. Literally straight after Suj's comment as well. Trust me, Suj is the bigger pro out of the two of us. Do not doubt that for 1 single second. Christoph Sam saying, I think Veron will outscore Bex over the next 4.5 games. Stefan says, Stefan White, question, what was the most nervous you've been before an event? FPL Live 1, podcast episode, or live stream 1? I was shitting it before the first live show. Absolutely shitting myself. First live show we did in London, FA Cup final last year. I was fine all day. I wasn't even thinking about it. And then it was like the music. I was like, shit. Such I'm shitting myself, man. It was a bit like, yeah, me too. But I think it was good for that one, Steph, that we had a plan with like the tactics and the guests. So we never had really the time to get stuck in nothing. And then I think those who came to the third Manchester show would have realised we tried something different in the second one, which was fine. It was different level because it was during games and that. probably be a bit more like this now, and we knew the mistakes that we made when we did the third one in Manchester. I think the Manchester one was the best one we did by a distance. It was such a brilliant day that we had in Manchester. When was that? Was it February? Late February? I'm so pleased we got to do it. And we'll be back, and it will happen again, the live shows. It's a pleasure doing them and getting to meet people like Andy Martin, and I hope next one I do I can meet Dave and James, and perhaps many of you now I'm getting to know. I probably followed more people in the last couple of weeks than I had the last year or so, because of great interactions actually through this game, meeting some good people. John Jacobs, I can't pin the tweet from the official account. I don't think you can pin someone else's tweet, can you? Late Riser telling Serge Beck's doing just fine. Go for it. I'm not against it, by the way, Serge. Second half is underway. The shrill burst of a referee's whistle cuts through the crisp air at 8 grounds across the country, bringing a tingle to the spine. What drama awaits us? Pray tell. That's from the official account. Official account, I still want to know what was happening with Colin Cooper. Colin Cooper was back in the Bolton game. What was that one about? Second half's underway, guys. You will see our clock ticker is going nicely for the second half now. We are coming up to the 46th minute. Brendan Davis, keepers are a liability in this game. I might not play one next week. It's always a possibility. Yeah, like I said with Mussolini, red card, I can't complain like Keller last week, didn't I? Official account is tagging at Daniel Sturridge with a copy of the fourth Leicester goal. Hope you actually did captain him. Daniel Sturridge is the sort of guy who might respond, which would be fucking class if he did. He's the sort of guy that might. I very nearly put him in the people's poll. Don't at him for this shit, but I very nearly put him in the people's poll before the lockdown, because obviously he left Trabzonspor by mutual consent, basically going back to some bets when he was still playing in England, which he strenuously denies and stuff. Maybe at Daniel Sturridge and see if we can get him on a 24-hour live stream, and we'll get him to defend himself properly. That'd be cool. FPL Hitman says, I miss Q Music Match. We need to listen to the podcast that we release every day, and you'll hear it every day. Oh, fucking hell, brutal. One thing about me and beers, I'm well out of practice. The indigestion's terrible now these days. Pep Talk, what area of the country have the live shows been in, and any idea where you might do the next? Well, if we weren't in lockdown, the fourth one probably would have been London through time constraints. We've done the first two in London. The third one was in Manchester, was 3 months or so ago. It was fantastic. And we're open to everywhere from Cardiff, Cardiff, Swansea, in Wales, that kind of thing, to Edinburgh, Glasgow. Going back to Manchester, we would be delighted to do that. Liverpool, Leeds, Newcastle. I'm quite keen because of this to go south and go to like a Brighton or something. That's what I'd be keen to do for the guys. Yeah, let's see. But yeah, loads. Birmingham, obviously. Loads of places. Yeah, I don't know if we can find a nice south venue like a Brighton or a Bournemouth or something. I realise that's not ideal for everybody, but yeah, we're looking to take the live shows around the country as and when. We were very much in the thought process before the lockdown of trying to get to a position where we would sort of do at least every quarter, and that's where we'd like to be, but it's kind of immaterial at the moment, isn't it? I don't think, unfortunately, we're not going to be doing a live show in 2021. The closest you're going to get is the live stream in 3 weeks. Andrew Martin, Champman Beach Barbecue for Game Week 38, live stream on the Sand, James. Yeah, any problems with Wi-Fi, right? Is the Wi-Fi going to be strong enough on the beach? But yeah, that if Premier League football has not returned, and there's somewhere we can do it, then yeah, we'll do it. Genuinely, we'll do it. Game Week 38. Unfortunately, I cannot foresee that being a possibility, unfortunately. But you know, if we could get to that place, yeah, I'll do it. I'll tell you right now, I'll get on the train and go anywhere, and I'll do it. 50 minutes gone at Villa Park. Change of piece here. Ginola is off to be replaced by Hadji, while United make a change up front with Cole coming on for York. York has been fairly quiet. Ruud van Nistelrooy has not. He's unlucky not to have at least one more. James O'Mahony, come to Ireland. We definitely would not rule that out, James. Suj wants to go to Kenya. He genuinely keeps talking about it. He's like, yeah, Planet FBL 6 in Kenya. I don't know why. So I think someone in his family's getting married out there or something. We've got a few listeners in Kenya and Ghana and stuff. And he's like, Uganda, our friend James Pompey in Uganda. I think he's like, yeah, Kenya. I'm like, fucking nuts, mate. One tour in Manchester and you want to take it to Africa. Calm down. Yeah, I do like Bournemouth as a shout, Andrew. I'm conscious Brighton might be a bit easier and a bit cheaper as well. And the reason I say that is it's pretty easy from London, and it's a lot cheaper to get to Brighton by train than it is to Bournemouth. A lot. So Brighton might be the compromise, and I guessing that's where Dave is. Simple goal. But it's long way off, guys. It feels a bit. I'm a bit wary of talking about things when people can't meet up and stuff, and then people miss it more and the banter and all that. I miss it more. I would love to go and have a beer with many of you guys now. CSW says Bournemouth would suit me. Live down the road in Southampton. Yeah, so we know we've got support down there. James Drury from Surgeries in Southampton. I'm sure he'd pop down on that as well. Goal. Equaliser for Liverpool at Stamford Bridge. Scored by Nicky Barmby. And if you ask a trivia question, Nicky Barmby is always possibly the answer. Assist will be popular. Goes to Igor Biscan. Goal for Liverpool. Equaliser at Stamford Bridge. Scored by Nick Barmby. Assist to Igor Biscan. Any chance of me getting top bonus for Sammy Hippier again? That'll do. I'll take 4 points off that prick every week. Chelsea 1, Liverpool 1. That is our first goal of the second half. Timed at 51 minutes. Billy Hadaway, come to Oslo. I tell you, if we were going Europe, we probably would start in Norway. I'm not joking. Or Amsterdam. Fuck it. Stop it. Enough now. I see I'm not covering any. It's like the Eric Backer of last week. I'm not covering any more of those comments. Great play by Barmby. But I appreciate the support. Great play by Barmby. He picks up the ball in the centre of the field. Beats Zola. Zola keeps getting fucked on Chelsea goals. Has anyone else noticed that? And runs straight towards goal. No one shuts him down, so he raffles a shot which goes over Kudicini but dips under the bar. Redknapp is on for her man. Suddenly had flashbacks of Christian Eriksen's goal at Stamford Bridge a couple of years back. See, look, Sujan Shah. Don't know what you're talking about, James. Next live show is Kenya. Fucking dickhead. Paul Mehan says Toronto. It's a little bit far, Paul, with respect. What, Kenya's around the corner? Yeah, but I might be able to hop on for a free flight to Kenya. Appreciate that, Panda, but there's no point looking at these things at the moment. Anurag's happy with a Biscan assist. John Jacobson, Barmby the rat. Andrew Martin, first return for his zombie team. Oh dear, you've had enough with your zombie team. I've only got, actually no, I've got McAnuff goal and I Scowcroft assist. Van Nistelrooy non-captain goal. I suspected my week was always going to be about what Newcastle do at 5:30. To be honest. Ravo says Zola lol. Mark Dorney's got Biscan on the bench. Gary Robinson starting in Norway. Best get the pounds though. Them Scandinavian countries are expensive, and they. Suj went to Copenhagen a couple of years ago, and the first thing he said to me was like, "Jesus, man, it's like £8 for a beer or something." Oh, look at Suj. I'm all over Toronto as a potential destination. Never been to Canada. I've been to Toronto very long time ago when I was about 6. I've been in the Sky Dome and all that. shat myself in that thing, honestly. Is it the Sky Dome, or is that where Toronto play? I know my dad broke into the Toronto Blue Jays stadium. He didn't break in, but he managed to get a look in. And I didn't. I was only 6. I was like, no, you go. I wish I'd gone in and had a look with him. Gutted about that. It's like a massive regret that he went in and had a look. I don't think he's got any pictures or anything, but he managed to. It was just walking through Toronto, and he managed to sneak in the stadium and have a look. Class. Long. That's 1991, I think. It was around the time they won the World Series. I think they won in 92 and 93, I think. A. Bingham says he'd be there if we come to Toronto. Guys, appreciate all the chats and the live shows. We might not be able to have a live show for 2 years, so you might as well just forget it now, guys. But I appreciate all the nice comments. Yeah, Gary Robinson's quite right. Mind you, when his lockdown ends, English pubs will charge £8 for a beer. They might have to. Oh, it's that time of day, isn't it? 5 minutes to the hour. Corrado Grabby is off for Blackburn. Really struggled playing up front by himself. He's hauled off with Matt Jansen coming on his place. So no change of system by the looks of it or anything. Fucking hell. I've still got Rufus. I'm holding Rufus because they play Blackburn at home in 3 game weeks. I'm going to play him. They're a disgrace, mate. If Souness was, you'd sack him, mate. I've seen a few people in the chat comment and say, like, I'm embarrassed to be a Blackburn fan during this sim. Because the thing is, as well, they play teams at Ewood Park and they're wrecking them up. They've won all but 1 game at home, and even in the game they did lose, they lost to Middlesbrough at the top of the league and they scored twice. They're wrecking teams at Ewood Park and they're doing nothing away from home. Like, it's really not rocket science, is it? I don't get it. DJ Music Case, hope Shearer doesn't blank today. I'm going to tell you now that I'm suspecting it. Paul Manny confirmed, yeah, 92 and 93 Toronto Blue Jays World Series. I'm not talking about baseball. That's going to bore people to tears, isn't it? John Jacobson, Grabby struggled away from home. Lol. Ed Cannon, Blackburn away is a banker cleanie. Well, I wouldn't say it's a banker cleanie. Of course it's not. It's not like they're never going to score away from home. But if you've got a player playing at home to him who's defensive, you've got to play, haven't they? Have to. Auto Recluse, as soon as it's the Mourinho this game. Don't remind me. I'd like to give a shout out to Mourinho, actually, like genuinely. He's actually getting really involved with some of the community stuff at Spurs at the moment in the stadium and that. I know he's been where I live in Enfield. He's been round here, handing out food parcels and that. So I'm very critical of him, but fair game to him for that, actually. Down Andy, absolutely appalling formations here beyond Blackburn. Shearer will score double figures, says Rob Reed. I'm not so confident. We 1 goal 8 minutes into the second half here. What's going on, lads? And they're not even apologising for it. It means shit's about to go down. 3 minutes to the hour mark. Unless you're Alan Boxic, in which case you're about 23 minutes away. FBL Hitman, given the madness of this game, I expect Shearer back-to-back Reds. Ian McKay says, Shearer knee injury out for the rest of the season. Yeah, I can see all that kind of shit happening. I hope he goes mental. Not just because I've capped him, but I hope that he makes people think twice about selling him, because I'm definitely selling him. Paul says he's happy to volunteer to be the Planet FPL Toronto Blue Jays correspondent. Well, the only new correspondent we have at the moment is... that's a blow at Ipswich. Henrik Pedersen has had a goal disallowed. Pedersen bundles the ball home, but Paul Warhurst was stood in an offside position and goal is disallowed. Obviously, our friend FPL captain up here, he's now honorary graphics correspondent for Planet FPL. My man Andy Martin, that Leeds gig is awaiting you, mate. And everybody will want you to do it now, mate. Any West Brom fans in this chat, by the way? Let me know if you are. But there's a lot of very good West Ham. It's no fucking... Sorry, Luke. Such. Sham. There's a lot of very good, actually, West Brom people in the FPL Twitter community, actually. Grabby. from Rob Pick. Why have you subbed me, you breast? Oh my God. Damien Delaney owners, hide yourselves. The official account even offers commiserations. Commiserations to those who bought Damien Delaney last week. He doesn't make it past 60 minutes once again. And once again is replaced by Frank Sinclair. You are, as it stands, the only owners of Leicester players, I think, to lose out completely. Sorry, Delaney owners. Was he third or fourth most bought last game weeks? There's got to be a few owners going out there. Andrew Martin says, hope Blackburn get BL soon. Jesus Christ. West Ham needs to call the RSPCA because they're just fucking completely incapable of holding on to a lead. Even against Blackburn, it wasn't a banker, wasn't it? Goal scorer for Blackburn is Mark Hughes, aged 67. And the assist goes to Damien Duff. Mark Hughes, the goal scorer for Blackburn. Damien Duff with the assist. Alex, James, shotgun being your Reading correspondent if we ever get promoted. You'd have to speak to Flapjack about that, mate. Ed Cannon subbed again. Yes. Clean sheet wipeout. Are you joking? No. People think I need to be joking every time I say your name out loud, mate. FPL JJ Delaney off on 59. Rob Pitt, can I pretend to be a West Bromwich Albion fan to become a correspondent? I don't think you'll ever need a Barnsley correspondent. To be fair, mate, if I do, I go with FPL Oakwell anyway. Goal for Charlton at Southampton. I'm sorry, Chris, FPL captain. Your Klaus Lundvik van clean sheet is gone. Graham Stewart playing OOP has scored for Charlton. Time of the goal is 61 minutes. Graham Stewart's pulled a goal back for Charlton at Southampton. They trail at St Mary's by 2-1. Ed Cannon, wait, something's broken. 2 guy gets Blackburn's assist. Johan Montin, how is Mark Hughes still active? Forget about Mark Hughes being active playing, mate. Everybody's been wondering how Mark Hughes has been active as a fucking football manager for the last 15 years, mate. How did that guy keep getting jobs? Unbelievable. Mark Dorney, Blackburn goal most pointless of the game week. Probably. But there will be some out there. If you've got West Ham defensive ownership, you would have played them today, wouldn't you? You would have had to. Abe Bingham, Mark Hughes looked like he's been a pensioner for 30 years. Karan Yadav, good morning, James. Just tuned in. How are the games shaping up? They are shaping up very nicely, mate. And you can see them all here. And at the bottom, all your latest scorers and assists, etc. pal. Information on the Stewart goal first. Charlton back in the game. Gary McAllister takes a long shot and Paul Jones can only parry the ball. Comes out to Graham Stewart and he scores. Game on. Saints previously replaced Draper with Murray. Rufus and Young booked for Charlton. I presume they haven't mentioned it. Draper and Murray looks like it's pre-hour, but I presume there's next to no ownership there, so they've not bothered. To clarify, Richard Rufus might be one that people are starting is booked, and same too for Luke Young, may have little bits of ownership. They've both been booked. Opening goal at Goodison Park. It's gone to the Toffees. Steve Watson is the goal scorer for Everton. They lead Fulham by 1-0. There is no assister. No one's brave enough to have fucking Everton players anyway. That's the team I'd avoid the most, I think, right now. But they are keeping the odd clean sheet, particularly in home games. And Steve Watson, not for the first time this season, has scored. He's put Everton in front just beyond the hour. Everton lead Fulham by 1-0. Information on the Mark Hughes goal for Blackburn. Blackburn level it up and it's no less than they deserve. Christian Daly clears across. Damien Duff picks up the ball and pings in a fine waist-high cross. Mark Hughes winds back the ears with a spectacular scissor kick. Nice. One of the, I've just criticised him, but one of the best volleys of a football I've ever seen, Mark Hughes. Always true. Never shinned nothing. Dropped out the sky. Could he hit a volley? There is a second goal to tell you about for Manchester United at Villa Park. Andy Cole is the goal scorer. Assist goes to Roy Keane. Not for the first time this season. Andy Cole, the goal scorer. Roy Keane with the assist. Manchester United 2-0 up at Villa Park. Cole the goal. Roy Keane with the assist. Rob Reed saying Watson's one to watch. Billy Hadaway, do something Bowen-Water. Ram. Lewis Bowen-Water will never score again. Late Riser 12, Watson keeps doing this. Rob Reed, lots of high ratings and bonuses. James Pompey in Uganda, 3% owned. Watson, yeah. Be a few. I mean, it might be some dead teams, possibly. Not as many of it. It's only 10% of dead teams, I think. Community is still very active in this, as many of you will know. Our league leader, Boris Charles Watson, is second sub. Substitutions to tell you about at the Riversides. Mute it. Motherfuckers. Changes for Borough. Jonathan Green has been well marshalled by Gus Poyet. Fucking losing 2-0, man. And is replaced by Nemeth. Substitute Boxic has also been replaced by Dean Windass. That comes as no shock. So 1 pointer there for Boxic. Billy Hadaway. Roy Keane is quietly ticking over with assists. I agree with that. Ian McAllister. Mark Hughes broke my heart with a volley in the 94 FA Cup semi-final. You, sir, are an Oldham Athletic fan. Aritravo. LBM, you rat. LBM, obviously, Lewis Bowen-Water. Brendan Davis, did York go off then? Yeah, I think that was announced, wasn't it? There was substitution announced a little while ago. I'm pretty sure the guys did tweet that out in fairness. I will just clarify for you. Yeah, change of piece in 50 minutes. York has been fairly quiet, replaced by Cole. Brilliant football by United. This is on the goal. Van Nistelrooy pulls wide and crosses into the box. Veron is attacking the box and knocks down for Keane. He doesn't have space to shoot, so tees up Andy Cole, who eats those sort of chances for breakfast. And the Daily Mail will probably report on that. Information on the Steve Watson goal for Everton. A scrappy old goal, but Steve Watson doesn't care. The ball pings around the box before rolling out towards Watson on the edge of the box, who blasts the ball and scores. Watson's third attacking return of the season! Exclamation mark. Gary Robinson. Keto! Rich man's Veron. James Pompey and Andy Cole. Pompey, one of the most surreal signings. If West Ham don't get relegated, I'm telling you. Blackburn lead at Upton Park. Goal scorer is Matt Jansen. Assist again for Duffers, Damien Duff. Goal for Matt Jansen and assist for Damien Duff. How many times have West Ham scored early and lost the lead? It feels like nearly every bloody week. And by the way, their fixtures are about to get dark. Goal for Jansen, assist for Damien Duff. I think you look at some of the players in that West Ham team, but my God, I think they're gonna come bottom, aren't they? I think. Andrew Martin says, hopefully good news for Boxic now. Hopefully can get to 100% before game week 11. Yeah, that's quite right. Second goal for Everton at Goodison Park. Goal scorer is Thomas Gravison. Also scored and assisted in the 3-0 win against Chelsea a couple of weeks back. He scored again at Goodison. The assister is Abel Xavier. 2-0 Everton. Gravison with a goal. Xavier with the assist. As much as I said I wouldn't really want to buy any of theirs, I tell you what, particularly in some of these home fixtures, they look like they're going to keep some clean sheets, Everton, and they're not getting battered away from home. This is game week 10. They've only conceded 9. So, lost 1-0 at Arsenal, wasn't it? 1-0 at Leeds. They're not getting torn. So maybe you can look at them defensively, the likes of Watson, etc. Luke Disables says, how on earth did West Ham beat Leicester? I think they just simmed it until they did, just for the crack. Just a quirk, wasn't it? Information on it: Janssen goal. Blackburn turn it around. More great wing play from Damien Duff, who has been absolutely superb. He's looking at the bonus there, guys. He stands the ball up for Janssen. He volleys home. Blackburn go defensive while West Ham have replaced Sinclair with Titi Camara. Okay. Clean sheet wipeout says Duff is an unbelievable troll. On clean sheets in the 3 PMs, obviously Arsenal locked theirs in the afternoon kickoff. Manchester United, Everton, Leicester, except for Damien Delaney owners, and Middlesbrough currently holding on to theirs. I was asked on my Ask James stream yesterday what I thought would be the highest scoring game in the 3 o'clocks, and I said Middlesbrough and Tottenham. I suspect there are more goals to come in that fixture, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's for both sides. Danny saying, James, did you know that Mark Hughes' first real name is Leslie? No, but it makes sense. Information on the Gravison goal for Everton. Everton are really not having such a bad season, are they? Question. Abu Xavier plays the long ball over the top, and Thomas Gravison fires a fine volley past Van der Sar. Lovely strike. Brian Yule, at least West Ham being rubbish is true to real life. Andrew Martin, hashtag Roda out. No sooner has Eddie quelled the speculation following that win at Leicester, he's under pressure again. Am I right in saying they've lost every home game? That's going to have people's backs up. If they haven't lost everyone, they've been very close. Late riser 12, Everton at home. Keep doing this. Pet took 4 clean sheets left this afternoon. 20 minutes to go. John Jacobson, Everton, Italian defensive masterclass from Ancelotti. Jerry Taggart owners. Your clean sheet is locked in. He's gone off with Matt Heath on his replacement. Derby have been a lot better second half, but Leicester have been playing within themselves and are taking the chance to rest players. Now, I might have told you about 45 minutes ago that would probably be Leicester scoring over. Biddy Hadaway started Serrani over Crossley. I started Serrani over Keller. At least I don't feel bad that I'm missing out on much from Keller points. Fuck it, is what it is, isn't it? Ryan, I own Duff for like the first. I like this. I owned Duff for like the first 3 or 4 game weeks of the season, and he did absolutely fuck all. After 10 game weeks, he decided to show up. So he's been out your team for the last 5-6 game weeks, Ryan. Get over it. Right, Optimus says he's bored. No one of his players have assisted or scored. Rob Pick, ooh, Jerry, hashtag locked. Brian Yule, good lad, Jerry, 1 out of 5 clean sheets. Speedy, woo, Taggart, late riser, Taggart, the real lord. Yeah. I mean, these guys aren't really for starting most weeks, but I think, yeah, if you had Taggart today, yeah, absolutely cool to start. And the previous week, of course, as well. Aritrava, Xavier was a beast, very good player. I think he's quite overrated, actually, personally. Optimus, I think I'm 25-30 points at the moment. Yep, that's roughly what I'm going to be on, I think. But I've got the Geordie boys to go later, let's see. Pep Talk, is Taggart now the best 4 million defender in the game? I'd be a little bit conscious about him playing left back today and swapping that with Delaney. A little bit conscious of that. Juan Sebastian Veron owners, you're on for a blank. Change at Villa Park. Juan Sebastian Veron hasn't hit the heights of last week and is substituted for Paul Scholes. Alpine has picked up a yellow card for Aston Villa. Veron is off, blanked. Ryan says, yeah, true that. Couldn't get rid of him sooner enough. Exactly, my man. Ed Cannon, 2 in play cleanies and a rude Van Nistelrooy goal. I don't feel there's too many returns looking about, but a lot of people will be happy enough at the moment with obviously the Henry captaincy for many, Van Nistelrooy captaincy. If Shearer can equal it, you might find it's quite a level week across the board, actually. If Van Nistelrooy doesn't score again, just a 1 Shearer return basically will do it. You can expect, the one thing with Van Nistelrooy though is, you can expect that to be top bonus. Just telling you. Flapjack says, I'm not an attacking return yet, James. It must be pretty even. Yeah, that's because you picked a fucking 5-2-3 formation. I saw your team. Brendan Davis says, boo, Ram, for fuck's sake, Varane, Scala. Clean sheet point locked in for Varane, says Scala. That's it. Avitravo, 1 game week wonder, Varane. Anurag has Repka first sub. Don't know if that's good or bad thing, mate. West Ham might lose 6-1 yet, mate. John Jacobson, sure people captain Varane. Yeah, about 1%. About 1%. It's neither here nor there, is it, basically? Ian Parron, another very quiet second half in comparison with the first. The theme is definitely developing here. It does feel like this second half's been quiet, hasn't it? Andy G, the Golf Pro, 4 out of 4 cleans, 2 pending, 3 assists, 1 goal, 2 Geordies to come, including Shearer captain. Happy days. No, you don't tempt fate, pal. Substitution at Upton Park. West Ham have played okay here today, obviously losing, but they've struggled since going behind. They make a change now. Di Canio off with Young or whippersnacker Jermaine Defoe coming on in his place. Come on, Jermaine. Show me how it's done, mate. I loved Jermaine. Properly loved him. He was the sort of player you could really get behind. And whenever anybody questioned him, he scored. Always. Matter of fact. Brilliant, brilliant goal scorer. Billy Hadaway. Shearer has immense hidden stats for important games and pressure. 5 goals incoming for the home derby. But does the game recognise Sunderland as a big game? Talking of which, I have your team news for Newcastle and Sunderland. We will go straight to that Newcastle team. No major shocks. It's positive. Obviously, Shearer to start. Solano, Dyer, Robert, all start. Solano's right midfield. So Newcastle given in goal. Quinn, Dabizas, O'Brien, Barton. 2 fullbacks they're allowed to push on. Robert on the left, Solano on the right, Dyer, Beseda central midfield. Shearer is partnered up front by Amiobi. On the bench is Karelsi, the sub goalkeeper, Clarence Acuna, Gavilan, Lamana, Luar, Gary Speed. Obviously Craig Bellamy is out for around about a month. And the Sunderland team, Sorensen in goal. Haas, Varga, Tome, Gray at the back 4, Till and Bart Williams in the wide positions, Schwartz and McCann in midfield, Phillips and Lislandes up front. Subs are Ashdown, Medina, Bellion, Peters and Michael Reddy. So I think no concerns there really from the Newcastle Sunderland lineups there as far as I can see. Substitutions to tell you about Stamford Bridge. This game is very even. Both defensives look pretty solid. Chelsea bring on Fossell for Johnson, while Liverpool replace John Arnorisa with Vignal. Gerrard and Patrick Berger have both been booked for the Reds. As we approach, well, we're certainly in the final 15 minutes or so now, aren't we? Wonder how Pedrina's doing for Spurs. I just happened to look at the amount of viewers in the stream. It's slightly scandalous. 250 is a pretty mad number. Thank you so much, guys. Arbitrary was saying, yeah, Solano back in right midfield. Yeah, it's good news. A. Bingham, the chaos of Luar. James Pompey, Uganda, you've got to think Ruud van Nistelrooy captainers don't have Shearer, but Shearer captains will have Ruud van Nistelrooy. I don't think that's necessarily the case. Remember, Shearer has incredibly high ownership numbers as well in any case. The captaincy, 36% Van Nistelrooy, 35% Shearer is essentially equal, isn't it? It's neither here nor there. Put it this way, more of Shearer's ownership as captain Shearer than the other. I always had it in my plan to captain Shearer this game week, but I mean, you can't argue with going against Van Nistelrooy almost in any fixture. Charlton have an equaliser at Southampton. It's scored by Jonathan Johansson. Assist goes to the returning Mark Kinsella. Johansson with the goal, Mark Kinsella with the assist. Charlton have come back from 2-0 down at St Mary's. 2-2. Johansson with the goal, Kinsella with the assist. 11 minutes to go. Pep talk, is Amiobi now an option with Bellamy injured and Shearer suspended next week? Well, it's Liverpool away next week, so it's not the option now. Cole Court is also fittish, isn't he? So I would say no to that. Gary Robinson says, odd that Shearer has such good stats for big games when he would come into a big club. Gary, can't say that, mate. Andy G got rude and captain Big Al. Yeah, I think a lot have done that. I know what our friend in Uganda was saying about that, yeah. Information on the Kinsella goal. Equaliser. Mark Kinsella puts the chance on a plate for Johansson with an excellent cross, and he applies the finish. Subs are plenty. Just clarify, it's Johansson scored for Charlton. Assist Kinsella. McAllister and Wilcox off for Peacock and Robinson for Charlton. And Tessam and Beattie are on for Murray and Pahars. I'm just trying to work out if I'm on for a clean sheet from anyone. Who have I got? Oh, Laurent Blanc. I might still be on for one, aren't I? Sorry, United ownership defensively. Just tempted that, aren't I? Dab his ass later. Redditor, Legend James, enjoying the stream. Accidentally left captain on Scowcroft, though. Well, he has got a return, mate. He's got an assist. It's not dead. You never know. He could be high in the bonus. I would suspect, though, for Scowcroft owners, the fact that obviously Sturridge has scored twice. Leicester have 4. And he's only just got 1 attacking return. And I'm a Scowcroft owner. Yes, a little bit disappointed. But let's see how the bonus knocks out. Suddenly, for whatever reason, if he lands on top bonus, you're potentially looking at a 9-pointer. So let's wait and see. Brad Lewington, Lua's little brother, Brighton legend. Oh, what was his first name? I feel like it began with a K, like Kazenga or something, but that's not right, is it? Tell me, Brad, that's going to fucking annoy me. Vinyl Richie, Sahar, please stay on the bench. We need those Biscan points in our team. Noted. I'll do an extra long delay, Richie, when I have updates on substitutions at Goodison Park in around about 60 seconds. Flapjack says, come on, Salakovic. Just come on, you Spurs. Pet Talk, Petrescu signing this week getting worse and worse. I don't think Southampton was a bad gamble. Oh, that's fine. It's unlucky. Gary, we knew you were only joking. You're good, mate. Ryan, who wants to bet that one of Hippie or Henshaw will get man a match again? I'm betting Henshaw because he's back, but yeah, Hippie would be good. There was something in the commentary there that did note that defence is very much on top there. Although Shearer was so much dearer, please don't take my Solskjaer away. Exactly. Gary Shepherd looking like another blank from Lewis Bowen. Moore was going to get rid, but not great replacements at that price. Fultz James have Johnson and Solano already. Danny Murphy maybe, Nick Barmby. If you want to attack into Liverpool midfield maybe. Could be comeback for Svensson. It's not next week, but I think that, it was right to attack him this week. He has scored. Oh, that's so pleased me. Kazenga, he's correct. Thank you, Brad and Redditor. Yeah, that was just bugging in my head. I would want to attack Liverpool, I think, from that position if you've already got like Solano and Johnson and that, Gary. Maybe Fanidi if you want to come back right down on that, but I think it's a rotation risk. Keep an eye out for Matt Holland injury news. When's Matt Holland back? He could be a good shout, I've got him probably out till game week 12. Rory says off to set up a barbecue. Great stream again, James. Best of luck for the rest of the week, folks. Shearer to say hopefully. Thank you very much for your contributions in the chat, Rory. Much appreciated, pal. Anurag, we lost some points with Robinson coming on with Repka on first sub. Andy North, our teach mode friend, is in the chat. Hello, pal. Afternoon, gents. Looking after the boy. Only dropping in is Flappy beating you, James. Oi oi, good luck anyone in the Wolfpack Cup. I shouldn't imagine so. 10-man Ipswich, we've not spoken much about them, have they? Been down to 10 men since around about minute 11 or something. Still lead Bolton by 2-1. The commentary says not much to say from here. Credit to Ipswich for that. They've done well to stifle Bolton. Overall, it's felt like a very even game. Royce are on for Jermaine Wright for the final stage, but I think the Tractor Boys will hold on here. Have some substitutions to tell you about at Goodison Park. Not really. James Pompey in Uganda missed Lamana and his flips at Fratton. But there was one game where he'd done the flip and he got injured himself, didn't he? And Harry Redknapp went mental, didn't he? Andrew Martin, free Borough essential. No, I've got none. But I did make a comment on Wednesday saying, when the right time comes round, then it's -8 if necessary. Manchester Reds. In another universe, we did sign Shearer and he's now our manager. And Solskjaer is on the Match of the Day panel. Shearer's bad enough to listen to. So, I wouldn't want Solskjaer on Match of the Day. Mind you, I mean, there's nothing analysis-wise particularly to ever get excited about on Match of the Day. Very occasionally, Jermaine Genos or Martin Kieran will say something interesting. Middlesbrough fixtures coming up. They still top the league. Fulham away, Sunderland at home, Man United at home, Aston Villa away. Nothing to fear. Gary Robinson, Shearer a better manager than Ollie. That's debatable. Auto Recluse talking about triple Borough defence. Well, their clean sheet is holding and beginning to look like it certainly will, as it will for potentially for Leicester, Everton and Manchester United holding clean sheets as well. This feels like it's been a very quiet second half. Something is going to go off. We just know it. Auto Recluse, go Gordon, Fester and Crossley. Crossley's a really good shout at the moment. He's another one I'm a little bit fearful of in terms of the rotation, but yeah, maybe that's the way in for Middlesbrough. 4.5 million keeper seems to have the nod at the moment. Dave Perrins, I'm 40 minutes behind on the stream. Come to Brighton, I can help with venue right next to station. Well, Dave, you're going to hear me say that in about 40 minutes, aren't you? Thanks, Dave. Appreciate that. Let's see how the world turns out in a few months. Stephen Hamilton, great day for me so far with that Borough triple up. Gary Shepherd, cheers, James. Good options. Decisions. Aritravo, Horidison bonus. Vinyl Richie says, shut up. I got you there, mate. You got a good rank, so you got to take the banter every now and again. 87-minute mark. It's all gone very quiet. A number of games still hanging in the balance. Will we see any late goals? Any predictions on where we might? Changes to tell you about at the Riverside, by the way. Motherfuckers. Perry off for Gardner and Anderton coming off for Davis. That's exciting. A. Bingham, Shearer scoring a last-minute goal in the CL final in 1999. Yeah, it was after Newcastle actually won some games following Asprilla's hat-trick against Barcelona. Brad Lewandon, last few minutes about to... Bang! Pep talk. How many sims to Borough win the league? None, except this one. Ian McAllister, the wheels will come off at Borough as soon as they sell Ugo. Why would Ugo leave? They're top of the league. Middlesbrough staying top of the league. Auto Recluse running away with one arm in air to Bayern's fans. Aritrava, it's a reference to Shearer. What could have been? He wouldn't have got on his knee like that, would he? Aritravo's laughing his head off. FBL Hitman, shit's about to hit the fan. 2 minutes to go, guys. 2 minutes to go. United 2 up at Villa. Chelsea, Liverpool remains level at 1-1. Everton look to have it in the bag. 2-0 up against Fulham. Are we underestimating them? Ipswich, 10-man Ipswich for nearly the whole game. Still holding on. 2-1 up against Bolton. Leicester with 4 first half goals. Lead Derby by 4. Middlesbrough 2 up against Spurs. Charlton have come back from 2-0 down to level at St Mary's against Southampton. And Blackburn have come from behind to lead 2-1 at West Ham. Beyond the captaincies, other than the Middlesbrough boys, I suggest returns here are quite low. And obviously Dean Sturridge, for those who've got Dean Sturridge. But I think across the other games, not much to speak of. We're off to Filbert Street where there's been another goal very late in the day. And they're doing this, not me. Which way has it gone though? And who has got it? I think it's a goal for Derby. Just telling you. I think it's like Valakri. That's my betting. I'm going Valakri. What are we going for, guys? Late goal at Filbert Street. Who's got it? Or could it have been disallowed? Oh, let's open this final can. Fuck it. Shout out to my beer nuts friends Steph and Ronnie. Top. Chat is very quiet. I feel just waiting on this. Ed Cannon saying, Elliot, please. Leicester clean sheet, gone. Goal scorer is Murray. Assist for Aranio. Leicester clean sheet, gone. Dead. 4-1 to Leicester. Murray the goal scorer. Aranio with the assist. Leicester clean sheet, gone. United, Everton and Middlesbrough hold on to theirs as we go into injury time. Stephen Hamilton better not have been kinky, always on the bench. Flapjack, go on you Rams. Sorry Flappy, I haven't got any Leicester defence, at least it doesn't really matter, mate. I've lost the 2 midfield points again. But they've both got me attacking returns this week. Christoph Sam, yikes, we got a wipe out. Red Cannon, oh, for fuck's sake. Dick Wellington, damn. John Jacobson, great news. Heavy Finger 7, Delaney's revenge, lads. Everton's clean sheet has gone too. Sean Davis with the goal. John Collins with the assist. The popular John Collins with a late attacking return. Everton's clean sheet gone. Late goal for Fulham at Goodison Park means only Manchester United and league leaders Middlesbrough hold on to their clean sheets currently. Wow. Andrew Martin correctly pointing out that Jerry Ferry doing bits again though. Could he be on for clean sheet and bonus? 4.0 Jerry Taggart. Just to confirm, obviously, in case you miss it, Ruud van Nistelrooy has joined Corrado Grabby at the top of the Premier League scoring list on 7 goals for the season in the 10 game weeks. Grabby's got 7 in about 5 game weeks, I think. Ryan Mills buzzing had Delaney deserved to concede. The wankers. Information on the goals. Late goal for Fulham. Not many own Everton defenders, but they'll be gutted. More own Collins, and they'll be delighted. The Scotsman plays the ball into the box for Davis. He turns on the ball and blasts it into the top corner. Too late for an equaliser, perhaps. And Murray's goal for Derby. 2 last-minute clean sheet wipeouts. Murray on for Danio. Receives the ball from Aranio in the box. Turns on it and then hammers a fine strike into the top corner. Really staking a claim for a starting spot here, young Murray. Gary Shepherd saying, I think that's the Lewis Bowenway replacement. Collins. Middlesbrough at home next, then Ipswich away, Chelsea away, Arsenal at home. Makes me think no, Gary. But can't argue at the returns at the price. Of course you can't. Well done to those who are on John Collins. And I did say, one thing I did say about Collins in the week is doesn't seem to matter so much on the fixtures. Seems to be returning randomly all over the place. Whitebeard, double United clean sheet, looking good again. Whitebeard, if you're just joining in late now, thank you very much for your help with FPL Captain in the week, by the way. Much appreciated. An average score update for you. Sorry, I'll supersede that. 4 times confirmed. Chris, FPL Captain, turn and red, my man. You're bang on it there, aren't you, boy? 4 times concerned. Manchester United and Middlesbrough's clean sheets locked in. Average score immediately updated from the Fantasy Champ Man account. Average score after the 3 PMs is a solid 50 points. Big own players still to come in the Tyne Weir derby, of course. 50 points is the average. For those who are like me, of Captain Shearer, we are probably a long way behind. Hit the Shearer captaincy. We are probably, if Shearer returns, we could be looking at a captaincy or an overall average here, possibly of above 60. Possibly. So it's going to be higher than it seems. Average score after the 3 PMs is 50 points. A lot of that will be due to the returns, obviously, of Henry and Ruud van Nistelrooy, who scored again today. Plus, you've got some popular players who've been bought in, have all returned. Dean Gordon, Festa, Johnson, somebody else. I've forgotten. But there's been some popular players bought in who have returned quite well as well. Well done to you if you've bought someone in who's had a good return this week. Very well done. Stay with me. We'll go through the bonus points, etc. together. As soon as they are in, the guys seem to be pretty quick at getting them out. So we will just wait on for those. Well, my phone goes mental as I turn it out of a aeroplane mode. Flapjack, how many you're on? I can't bother to count mine. First bonus comes in from Villa Park. And the top bonus does not go to Ruud van Nistelrooy. It goes to David Beckham. Van Nistelrooy does have two bonus points. So too does Andy Cole, Roy Keane, Wes Brown, and again goalkeeper points against Manchester United. 2 bonus points to Peter Schmeichel. However, might be telling the story of the game here. No save point bonus for Schmeichel, but there is one for Fabian Barthez owners. Perhaps a rare 7-pointer rather than a 6 there. 3 bookings in the game. We knew about all of them. Alpine, David Beckham and Roy Keane. Beckham's man of the match rating is only 8 out of 10. Obviously all those also in the bonus. Picked up 8 out of 10 ratings. Scholes replaced Veron on 73. Andy Cole replaced Dwight York on 50 minutes. Hadji had replaced Ginola on 50 for Villa. Dublin had replaced Juan Pablo Angel on 56. Juan Pablo Angel returned a 5 out of 10 rating. But I would suggest for the limited few that do own him, nothing particularly to worry about there. He's very much the standout, I think, for Aston Villa up front. Next, we'll go to, I did that in completely the wrong order, Riverside. Mute me, motherfuckers. Gianluca Festa owners, you have top bonus. There are also 2 bonus points for Ugo Egiog. There is 1 bonus point for Mark Crossley, Robbie Stockdale, Hamilton Rickard, Dean Gordon, and Gus Poyet and Teddy Sheringham of Spurs. Both keepers, Crossley and Keller, also pick up 1 bonus point each. Just waiting for my phone to give me enough juice to tell you bookings and the like. 1 booking in the game, that was for Middlesbrough substitute Dean Windass, who came on 56 minutes for Alan, replaced Alan Boxic, who obviously came on earlier in the game for the injured Noel Whelan. Nemeth had replaced Greening on 63 minutes. Changes for Spurs were very late in the game. Gardner and Davis on for Perry and Anderson. Chris Perry had a 5 out of 10 rating. Another 5 out of 10 rating for Stefan Selakovic of Spurs. Festa's man of match rating was a 9 out of 10. Top bonus at Upton Park goes to Damien Duff of Blackburn. There were 2 bonus points for Joe Cole, Mark Hughes and Jason McAteer. 1 save point each for David James and Alan Kelly in the Blackburn goal. Only booking of the game was for Berg. Man of the match Duff picks up a 10 out of 10 rating. Grabby returned a 5 out of 10. So too did West Ham's Scott Minto, who played at left back, who's gone off injured in the 90th minute, replaced by Paul Kitsman. West Ham had also used Kamara and Defoe later in the game to replace DiCanio and Hutchison. Blackburn subs were Janssen for Grabby on 51 and Marcus Bent for Jimmy Corbett on 80. Moving on to Stamford Bridge. Top bonus is for Mario Stanic. There are 2 bonus points for sorry guys. I don't know who Achu is signed from, but he's got 2 bonus points. So too, Jesper Gronkiar, Celestine Babiaro, William Gallas, Emmanuel Petit, Jerzy Dudek, Igor Biscan, and Nick Barmby. There is 1 save point also for both goalkeepers, Kudacini and Dudek. Gerrard and Berger booked during the match. Liverpool's used substitutes were Redknapp for Haman on 51, Vignal for Risa on 78. Stanic's man and match performance from right wing back was a 9 out of 10. Mikel Forsell replaced Idaho Johnson on 75 minutes, was Chelsea's only change. Everton beat Fulham 2-1. Fulham struggling. Time to ditch their assets, asked the official account. Top bonus goes to Alan Stubbs. There are 2 bonus points for 2 Everton players and 2 Fulham players. David Weir and Abel Xavier of Everton, and Alan Gomar and Sean Davis of Fulham. It's also again 1 save point for both keepers. Simonson, who's keeping Paul Gerrard out of the Everton side, and also Edwin van der Sar. Van der Sar also picked up a booking in the match for that tackle early in the game near the corner flag. Interestingly, obviously, Goma and Davis both pick up 8 out of 10 ratings. Alan Stubbs' man and match performance was a 9 out of 10. No substitutions used by Fulham. So no introduction for Lewis Zaha during the game. Everton's substitutions were both very late. Kevin Campbell and Nicholas Alexanderson replacing Duncan Ferguson and Paul Gascoigne inside the final 6 minutes of that encounter. Van der Sar was the only player from both sides who started to pick up lower than a 7 out of 10 in that particular fixture. On to Ipswich. I think we have a popular bonus here. Top bonus goes to Herman Hreidarsson. There are also 2 bonus points for Maurizio Tarico, Titus Bramble, Thomas Gardso, Fanidi George, Jason Kumas, Robert Lee, and Michael Ricketts. No save points in the game, which I think speaks volumes potentially about Bolton, who obviously played over basically 80 minutes of this match against Ipswich's 10 men, and against sub-goalkeeper Andy Marshall, who replaced the sent-off Matteo Sereni on 12 minutes. Ipswich's other sub was Roycer for Jermaine Wright on 72. Obviously, when Marshall would come on, the sacrifice was forward Pablo. Fanidi stayed on and has picked up 2 bonus points. The only booking in the game was for Bolton's Colin Cooper. I think we now know what that text was about. Colin Cooper back, should have been Colin Cooper booked. Colin Cooper was booked for Bolton. Jibril Diawara, injury prone, was replaced by Bolton basically on half-time for Paul Warhurst. Moving on to St Mary's. Top bonus goes to Jason Dodd of Southampton. There were 2 bonus points for a lot of players. Wayne Bridge, FPL captain. Klaus Lundikvarm, 2 bonus points. Picked up a whopper of a 3-point there, pal. Danny Shitu. Klaus Jensen's in the returns again. Graham Stewart, Jonathan Johansson, Mark Kinsella. There is 1 save point for Paul Jones. None for Dean Kiley. 4 bookings in the game. 1 for Dodd, who was got a 9 out of 10 rating as man of the match. And 3 of Charlton's back 4 were also booked. Young, Powell, Rufus, Rory Delap at a 6 out of 10. So to Wilcox, McAllister. Southampton subs were both late. Beattie on for Pahaj, Tessam on for Murray. Although Murray had replaced Draper on 53. So Murray only played 35 odd minutes and was then subbed. That fucking shit's really weird. I don't get that. Charlton's 2 substitutions I think we knew about was Peacock for McAllister on 67. Robinson for Wilcox on 80. And to Filbert Street. Top bonus, unsurprisingly, goes to Dean Sturridge. 3 bonus points for Sturridge. There are 2 bonus points for 2 Derby players. Valakri and Murray. And 5 Leicester players. Matt Elliott, James Scowcroft, Joby McAnuff, Arnold Gunlaugson and Andy Impey. There are no save points from that fixture. Sturridge's man of match rating was a 9 out of 10. Craig Burley and the Oaks of Derby both picked up 5 out of 10 ratings. There were no bookings in the fixture. Daniele Diano had replaced the injured Horatio Carbonari on 10 minutes. He was later replaced by goalscorer Adam Murray, and we knew about the Leicester changes. Frank Sinclair for the unfortunate Damien Delaney on 59 minutes, and Matt Heath for Jerry Taggart on 71. They weren't in alphabetical order, but I think that's it from the account. If the account wants to be quick and tweet out the league table, I will happily crack on for it. FPL captain saying in the chat, Lundik Varm, set and forget. Tarico. It's all gone Pete Tong here, but don't worry, it wasn't my beer. FPL Chancellor Tarico is such a hero. Might be the way to go back to. Michael Den 4 is on 78 with Shearer to play. Well done, sir. Joe Jenkins 64 with no one left to play. You should still beat the average with that, my friend. Andy G, the golf proof, 62 plus captain Shearer and Nobby. 32 points from back four is unbelievable. FBL booster has Sturridge, John Jacobson, Scully and Maka. Yeah, Skokov and Maka enough. Assist, goal, bonus points for the two. That'll do. Now I'm probably going to fucking bin one of them. Darren Addy, oh Andy, that's outstanding. Nurse Schratzer 64 with Shearer captain to go. There are some high scores knocking about. Rob Pick in the 60s, I think, with Shearer captain and Solano to go. But what's Flapjack on? That's all I want to know. John Jacobson, see you later, guys. Thank you, James. Clean sheet wipeout. Cheers, James. Appreciate it. Luke Porteous, cheers, James. Thanks again. Auto Recluse, thanks. Love all the thanks. Boom, 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 boom. Thank you very much, guys. I don't have the league table yet, but obviously follow the official account, Fancy Champman. Please remember, obviously, to donate to the guys for their fundraising effort as well. It's amazing. Massive fucking handout to the guys as well. Top work. Thank you for everybody in the community who continues to be involved and make this whole Fantasy Champman account, or game even, such an interactive event where we all feel like we're involved. I feel like I'm making friends right now. That's a nice place to be in. Thank you all so much. Enjoy the rest of your weekends. In terms of Planet FPL content, for those who normally listen to our regular stuff, keep an eye out for tomorrow's People's Poll. It is going to be something financial related. Probably Charlton and Derby, if you're fans of either of those, and obviously two Premier League clubs from this era, is going to feature in the People's Poll. The Olympiacos irregularities, they're potentially getting thrown out. The Greece top division is going to go in. I haven't decided on the fourth possible topic, but I will do today for tomorrow's poll. We'll be back Monday night. I've got some strong views in terms of how lower league clubs can potentially survive during this pandemic, and I want to share some of them with you on Monday night's podcast. Please join us for that. The final 20 minutes or so will be Fantasy Champman related, so you can obviously, if you don't want to listen to the rest of the shit with me and such, you can jump onto that. Wednesday's quiz will be based on the history of the League Cup in England. It's something I want to do to not just make it as a quiz, but a little bit of a historical journey of that competition as well. So join us for that. And I think many of you will be interested in the Thursday throwback we're going to do this week, which is going to be based on the current league leaders from the Riverside, motherfuckers. And it's going to be based on Middlesbrough's league campaign of the 1996-97 season, when they managed to lose both domestic cups, get relegated because they got deducted points because they didn't fulfil their obligation to put a team on the pitch away to Blackburn, although they tried to notify the authorities and say they had no fit players. A controversial one with some stars in there, the likes of Juninho, Ravanelli, Emerson. We're going to be discussing that on Thursday. Obviously, in between, I'll be back Wednesday night for Game Week 11. Join me then from 7:30. Been an absolute pleasure, guys. Other than that, all that's left for me to say is ciao for now. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you very much, guys.